Hi everybody and welcome back to StorytellerSpira's channel where we are back playing vampires. On Tuesday night it is Vampire the Masquerade and we fixed our little bit of a technical difficulty a second ago. Tradition around here. Had to have one hiccup at least on starting essentially a new game. Is this actually wood? I don't know if that was safe. Is it just lacquered wood? Okay, fine enough. Uh, so, essentially what we have going on is that we are returning to our older New York by Night game. If for anyone who has watched that or is catching up on it on YouTube, this is gonna vaguely be somewhere between like a season 3 continuation. Everything's still canon, everything still happened, but we're kind of like starting a bit fresh. We were talking before we went live, and I guess it's gonna be like Dragon Ball Z after Dragon Ball. It's all the same. It's just we're just getting started. And to add on, if you are new, if you haven't watched any of the previous New York games, don't worry about it. We're going to be introducing all of the player characters and everything over again. We're going to have a bit of a review of what kind of major things happen in their lives and where they are right now, their plans for being in New York, which only about 5 to 7 years ago was won back by the Camarilla from the Sabbat. So basically everybody in the city, even the prince, have only been in any position of power or influence for a short time, and our neonates here are trying to weave their way through all of this clandestine fun and intrigue and figure out what they can do being so young in the society. So, we chatted a little bit already, but let me just hear a little round from my lovely ducklings. How is everybody on this Tuesday evening?
So good.
We are doing great. At least I'm doing great. That's all that matters.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Hey, mister, do you have some change for the bus?
No, I'm poor.
All right. So real quick, we're going to, and fingers crossed it plays correctly, go into the intro for New York by Night. Lovely little song and video we had put together by Elvish and her brother for our game. So enjoy if you haven't seen it before, and if you're an old fan, enjoy it again. And we'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright, wasn't that fun?
Super fun.
Yeah.
I
Super
love
fun.
Did anyone notice the change or spoiler in the middle of it?
Oh, well, there's a little something in
It
there.
is no spoiler.
There is a little something in there. I do have a nice long narrative refresher slash opening for this game. Yeah, is that so? But before I get into that, let's actually have everyone introduce their characters either again or, in one case, for the first time. We'll start with Super Chocolate Bear playing our lovely Bruja Roland. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Roland.
Yeah. Well, his name is actually Henry, but he goes by Roland because he's wanted by some just all around a lot of people. Very strong-willed, stubborn, dumb, botches on a lot of roles, but in one of the previous seasons, he sired a young girl, Clementine, and got blood bonded to some people, and one of which is like one of his Nazi friends that he has feelings for now. So he's trying to go on the straight and narrow. No more just going around trying to beat up Sedites, and just trying to be a good sire, good whatever you call his relationship with Sunshine, and try not let his sire fuck up the new city that he's trying to call home.
Very nice. Next, we'll hear from Zabani, who is playing the Toreador Angel.
Yeah, name's Julio Angel Vargas, but most people call me A. Born and raised in Brooklyn. My Tory thing is cars. Like, yeah, cool. You got like your sculptors and your singers and shit. I do cars because that's just perfect. Now I'm staying in an apartment with my friend over here, Dr. K. We decided it's easier. We're good friends. It just makes sense. Not to mention there was like political reasons or some shit for doing that, but like it's better at the long run. Anyway, yeah. Don't really have any specific plans right now. Just kind of taking things as they come. It's nice that we've had a month or two to calm down, though. Unbeknownst to Dr. Kim, her sire did give me a little bit of PTSD that if things get too quiet, I start having trouble. I start getting a little jumpy.
And next we'll have Elvish Dame, who is playing the Malkavian Dr. Kim.
Yes, hello. My name is Dr. Kim Brown. I work as the medical examiner for Mount Sinai Hospital. Mostly, I do my job on the level, but however, every once in a while I get a cadaver in that's clearly had something supernatural cause of death, and so I have to kind of edit the history reports and record reports and things like that. So in order to help maintain the Masquerade, I am under my sire, Dr. Richard Vargas, who also works at the hospital. And I've been trying to learn more about Vampire and Camarilla Society in particular, as I am a fairly new kindred, very much still a neonate. I've only been embraced about a year or so. And I am trying to involve myself more in politics and gain some friends and hopefully educate myself a little bit about the world. Like Angel said, I moved in with him. We got a apartment that's owned by another kindred who we now owe some favor to, apparently. to be determined later. But it made sense, and it's been a little bit peaceful since then.
And after that, we have Articus playing our footloose and fancy free, as I'm referring to him from now on, Tremere Felix.
Bonjour. I'm Felix Cote, one-less French-Canadian Tremere. Well, first business is that, well, my old chantry kind of went up in flames, so I found myself wandering about until I eventually found you. Initially, I kind of took residences with the chantries and kind of met some big cats, maybe? Is that what they're called here? An Aisling Sternberg and a Lord, don't forget the Lord, Ephraim Wainwright. Well, it's too complicated, it's too busy, there's too many people, too many vampire people. So I ended up finding Roland, an interestingly rebellious, angry man. I remember when he was crashing the car and they were all raging or something like that. But after some while of talking with him, getting to know him, getting him to try to challenge me, and easily passing his tests, end up kind of being with him, saying sorry to him every once in a while, finding myself in some sewers, falling into the sewers, lightning some rats. It's a story, but a very complicated story. But I do have a pet rat now, the Candlestick. Actually, I have 3 now. I hope they don't get jealous. But I guess I find myself wandering graveyards and, well, maybe looking into a side business. Can't just live off of Roland's dollar, so maybe I can find some entertainment.
And next we will have Koznark, who is playing the La Sombra Ike. Originally told some of these player characters and some other NPCs around town that he was a Ventrue, very common among the La Sombra who don't exactly want to be forward with their clan. But, you know, at least among Felix, Kim, Angel, and Roland at this point, they all know. And even a couple other people around the city. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Ike.
Hi, I'm Ike. I don't know what that lady was talking about earlier. I'm totally a Ventrue, so you can just forget all that nonsense. I would never do anything bad or at all involved with the darkness, including worshipping it, trying to become the ethereal form of it, and maybe extinguishing all lights on the planet. That all sounds great to me. But hey, if you see any people running around looking for a guy in a shirt, I need that guy. So if you could just let me know. I lost my friend a little while ago, and I'm trying to dig him up. I don't know where he went. But until then, I'll see all you guys later. I have to go back in this alley. Please don't listen to any screams if you hear any. It's okay.
Our precocious child kindred. Always a good time. And last but not least, we're going to introduce Hopeless Entree as the character Cora. She is a Malkavian, and she will be joining our game going forward. So let's get that new picture up. And Cora, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, with a special side sauce note that Cora was in a game before, you know, maybe a different faction, but we'll see what she has to say.
My name is Cora Treskin. I am a Malkavian, and my sire is Camarilla, so I am in the city to be Camarilla, and I'll be honest with you, here I really hate intros. They're sort of like resumes, and I just had kind of a stint in the Anarchs for a little while, just because I mean they're not as goal oriented, and I guess you could call it a phase in terms of what vampires do. But I'm coming back to the Camarilla to serve under my sire, and hopefully I can make him proud.
Excellent. All right, so those are our player characters going forward with Return to New York, Nights in New York. We'll settle on a proper new name. I want to, you know, maybe do something a little different than New York by Night, since we're going in a little fresh. But you know what? I want to, you know, let everybody get a bit of a mental refresher on exactly some of the key things that happened at the end of the last game and where everybody was individually. So, at the wrap for New York by Night, we start, or at least have a bit of a spotlight on Roland, who had sought to put an end to the New York Setites, both as revenge for attempting to force him into a blood bond, and into servitude in their drug and sex trades, as well as ensuring him, you know, he wanted to stretch his own skills in those trades, so he got to get rid of these Setites. Angel, Felix, Ike, Kim, and Roland, along with a number of friends and associates they had made along the way in New York, had lulled the Setites into Roland's club, the Rebel's Kiss, to settle things once and for all. After getting the snakes overly intoxicated, our Camarilla kids took action and made quick work of the debauched Dominic, his sire, and their minions. In addition to the scaly bloodbath, we last left Angel and Kim, as Angel had mentioned, who had bonded over their assigned kindred work covering up Masquerade breaks through both Kim's morgue and Angel's body shop, as well as some less than savory realizations about their sires. So while Kim always knew her sire, Dr. Richard Fargus, was a bit of a cruel, terrible, awful man, getting to know other kindred in the city and perhaps a sly word or two from Ike has made her realize that she may in fact truly need to get away from him one way or another. Similar but different, Angel had discovered that his perfect, sweet, elderly sire, with her beautiful garden home, turned out to be a relatively willing pawn in a bit of backroom politics that led to trouble for him and his friends, and proved to him that anybody in kindred society could be compromised, no matter who they are. Speaking of sires, we also have Ike, who was outed among his newly made friends as La Sombra, and not the venture he'd been claiming to be. But he was tentatively still accepted on the merit of his actions and the word that he had no interest in the Sabbat. But after his sire re-entered his life and began his work on the Path of Night, the others did at least start to notice a bit of a manic change in the child kindred, reflecting how he had to forcibly lower his humanity to be able to start on a path. But yeah, you know, maybe they weren't paying too close attention. We'll follow up on that. Felix, the footloose and fancy-free Tremere, as I said, found the local New York chantries to be a little too clandestine for his taste. Didn't really like all the secret cultic activity. He was just curious about the world around him and the supernatural. He just wanted to learn on his own. So he made himself a small cadre of associates in these other players, particularly Roland, who had offered him both work at his club and shelter now and then when the Wanderer needed it. While he has assisted in many of the others' wild capers, including the werewolf trouble that Angel faced, the sewer jaunt that found the mad Jamissy Daniel, and the eventual fight with the Setites, he otherwise managed to find time to flirt with a good 2 or 3 human women and discover the secrets of the Big Apple's cemeteries. So those are kind of some highlights of what have been going on in our characters' lives over about a month or two into the city after running into each other, after running afoul of Setites and Jamissy in the sewers, and all kinds of other fun trouble. But, you know, after that big fight in the club, Roland realized between some actual physical property damage, some police work that would need to be settled, and maybe just needing a quiet moment to reflect and just be alone with his child, Clementine, and maybe a little bit of time with Sunshine, he unofficially closed the club for, you know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks just to let things settle. And coming up very soon, he is planning a grand reopening now that, you know, all of the police have been placated with a little extra help from Benedict. And Sunshine, you know, maybe switching some reports around. And, yeah, so that is where Roland stands at the moment. Felix, as I mentioned, has been kind of pitter-pattering around the city, you know, maybe staying with Roland one night, maybe crashing at the Chantry, maybe finding another friend to crash with. Who knows? It's a bit of a wild card, that one. Angel and Kim have officially moved into this new apartment of theirs, and Kim has been dealing with what Angel is, I guess, from Zabani's words, claiming is some reenacting PTSD. And we have Ike, who is got a couple, you know, fingers and a couple pies around the city. He's got some homeless people who he's been gathering as a network to watch for things for him. He's got a couple people at the large drug den in the north of the city that he's done some work for as well. And then, again, last but not least, we have Cora, who had been out on Staten Island, or as I like to call it, Anarch Island, and came home after some of these weird things had been happening on Manhattan Island with the Camarilla, and just wants to check in on her sire, who is a little overly paranoid now and then. hint, hint, wanted to also check in on his child and see if they could just, return to some semblance of a messed up kindred home. So to start, let's say, I do want to ask Felix, because we know you're here and there and up and down. Would you have been staying at Roland's recently?
Let's
and Roland,
say,
you can add in as well.
let's say, why not? Sounds like a great way to start a story.
Yeah, also, before we ended the last one, I gave a bunch of money to Sunshine to like renovate the downstairs to turn it into an actual apartment instead of like a giant open area. So as long as that went through, he has like a room he could.
Yes, because the basement section of your club building, which was your apartment, had just been completely open floor, a bed, a desk, a couple chairs, not actually too much, because Roland in particular is not one for much. He enjoys going out and doing things, not staying home and enjoying some furniture. When you gave the money to Sunshine, she took it and knew she's smart enough to figure out who else to hand it over to. So she found some toreadors that seemed trustworthy and, paid them to fix the place up. Still looking at you like you were crazy for asking her to do anything as, artistic as interior design. So, as I mentioned, during this downtime that your club was closed, you were looking to, get to spend some time with Clementine, maybe even Sunshine. Sunshine, actually, let's get some rolls going.
Oh, Jesus, what are we
Yes.
rolling?
Yes.
Somebody's like, yes.
Zoe already there. God damn it.
Yeah, just one at least.
Let the botching continue? Yeah.
Continue? Yeah, continue.
Let the botches hit the floor. Let the botches hit the floor.
Dice.
Okay. Roland, I'm gonna need perception empathy, but it's only gonna be difficulty 5 because you're very close with Sunshine. It's just gonna be something I need to see if you totally notice.
He's not good at, perception.
I know he is, so that's especially why you have to roll.
That was me. My bad.
Boom, look at that, 2 successes.
All right, not too bad. So over the next about 3 weeks, while you're trying to get the basement renovated into a nice apartment with actual rooms, especially for anyone who wants to crash, so you don't have to, sleep, next to Clementine or Sunshine and look over and see Felix's lovely mug. And also getting some repairs done on the second floor of your club where the actual fight happens. You do notice that Sunshine's around for a while, but after maybe a few days, she takes longer and longer trips back to Atlantic City, where her and Benedict have a better setup for their Nosferatu Shreknet needs. They've only kind of been in the city helping you out and investigating what's been going on out of curiosity. So yeah, you've noticed her just as those weeks progress, and maybe the last 5 days, it's actually been really hard to get a hold of her.
But she is there now, or no?
She's not there when you wake up, and we'll say that Felix is crashed in another room. You still sleeping on a desk, Felix?
Well, after about 30 sorries and insisting he didn't need a bed, he ended up just residing on something of more soft nature.
Alright, so maybe whoever Sunshine hired to fix up the place got a nice kind of futon couch situation.
Futon, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what the Americans say.
I love to imagine that Felix, like, they, like, got you a bed, and you see you, like, sneaking into Roland's office one day, grabbing the desk, and just slowly yanking it out
Just-
the door into the bedroom. Yeah. Roland's just sitting there looking at you like, sorry. You just
sorry,
keep
sorry.
yanking.
Like Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly. Just take it.
You want this? You want to use this too?
He finally gets it out of the room and just peeks his head back in. The futon's too soft.
I'll go in and the desk is just destroyed and there's like wood chips on the futon, so he's more comfortable.
No, it's probably like the futon's occupied.
Nice.
And then I also need a self-control roll from Roland. This will be pass or fail, no botching.
6.
It's your time to botch.
Is my difficulty 6 on this one? Move back to normal. Look at that. Guys, I don't know what happened. This whole Luther thing just fucking changed it up. I got 4 successes.
He got a duffel bag, poured all of Luther's luck in there, and just ran.
Suddenly, Tien just became powerful.
So also over the next couple weeks, you're maybe not sure right away with this weird, like, kind of, you got like an itch and you're not exactly sure what it is right away, but about 2 weeks in, and especially as Sunshine is disappearing for longer lengths of time, it kind of almost clicks for you. It almost feels like you can actually hear that beast inside you just growling, and you realize now you've never been blood bonded, but you know some of the basics of it, and you are not seeing the person you've just recently been blood bonded to a little less and less, and you haven't fed from her and getting close to a month now.
Do I have a ETA of when she might be back, or is she just kind of vanish and
She
shows up?
kind of like lets you vaguely know what she's going to be up to. It's maybe been a day or so longer than you expected her to take. So like now you're like waking up expecting to like walk out the room and see her, or just at least get a call or a text or something like.
Yeah, he would wake up, and if no one's in the room, then he would kind of walk around, see if she's somewhere in there, and then he would probably end up checking Clementine.
So the basement's been sectioned off into at least like kind of 3 main areas. There's gonna be your proper bedroom. There's gonna be another like place for someone to properly crash, living area, and maybe even like a very small kind of office space. Just an actual nice desk with a nice computer, some file cabinets, anything that you would actually want as a business owner, and also for Sunshine to like keep track of certain things. Definitely not the giant rig she always goes on and on and on about so happily, but it can do the trick in a minute. And so as you maybe walk out of the bedroom, you'll hear some like blips and beeps and a very small voice, "Oh, come on," from the office.
I will go check it out. I'll go investigate.
So you open the office and you find Clementine curled up in the office chair, which was, made for a good size adult. So her small, like 8-year-old frame, just real curled up, tight into it. Except she does have a large iPad that Sunshine had got for her, and you can see her fingers tapping all over the place, obviously playing a little video game.
Clem, are you on that game again?
Yeah, just, honey, I'm almost at the 20th level, and this part's so hard. And she continues tapping along, and then you hear, and she's almost throws the iPad down, but then grabs it again, realizing it was a present from Sunshine. She can't do that. So she quietly, breathing out, sets it down on the desk in front of her. Guess I'll have to try that one again.
Was that the sound of Pac-Man dying?
That's the sound I made.
Okay.
Are we sure she's not playing Fortnite?
Does she
You
know
have
all the
20th
dances?
levels.
Wasn't enough cursing.
She was actually playing D&D.
Clementine, have you seen sunshine around?
Clementine looks up at you, and actually, at the sound of you saying sunshine, she looks a little sad. No, she still hasn't been back. It's been a few days. I was hoping you'd heard from her. She's supposed to come back today?
Yeah, well, hopefully she comes back, but I don't know. Maybe I'll send her a message. How are you?
What was the last one?
How are you? To Clementine.
I'm fine. You see her glance at the game again. I just wish I could get back past this part, because I heard online that is supposed to be after you get past this part. And she rambles for a little while about things that Roland really barely understands, because even though he was only embraced maybe 10 years ago at most, that wasn't something he was ever interested in.
Clem, you'll get it eventually. You just have to try at it. Maybe today we could get off the games and we can do some training, right? And maybe not sit all day on.
Is Felix there?
You are like in the other room and you can hear all this if you want to pop in. Or
Oh, I definitely want to pop in.
Yeah. So, but at the mention of training and being physical, because Clementine was always a very sporty, tomboyish type. She always loved running, and you learned a lot about her over time that she was actually into a lot of sports when she was still in school. So any chance to really like get out, stretch her legs, do anything physical, and that pushes her athletics is something that's just always really exciting for her. So she looks just delighted at that idea.
Felix, when are you?
It can be now. Did I hear someone get to level 20?
Not you two.
No, I couldn't even possibly, but she was level 18 yesterday, so I thought that was pretty impressive.
Maybe Clementine is level 20 impressive.
She gets a little dancy and says, "I'm so close, Felix. I even," and she looks down a little bit. I did even read like that one kind of guide, the not spoilery one, the one that was just supposed to give me an idea of like which direction to go, and I don't know. I still can't get past that one dude.
It's always best to learn on your own, even if you're given a guide, because kind of like magic, it's always better if you have your own style.
I know. I didn't want to. I was getting really frustrated. I've been trying like a couple dozen times at least. Like, I feel like it's gonna take forever.
Sometimes a guide isn't the worst thing. You can ask for help when you need help, right, Felix?
Absolutely, I have plenty of books that let me cheat.
This is the weirdest 1990s sitcom.
Just two bros raising a girl together, and
Two
they're
and a half
basement.
vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
I love you. Alright, I should.
Hold on, no. Two vampires, a girl, and a
Well, she's
club.
half the size, so she's half vamp. I'm just playing around.
That was a reference to Two Guys, a Girl, at a Pizza Place. For anybody who remembers that show that had like 3 episodes.
I remember the name.
What, Felix? If you're, I'm gonna make a phone call. Excuse me, and I'll go and I'll call Sunshine in my room.
So you head back into your room and give Sunshine's cell phone a call. It rings for a little while and then actually does go to voicemail, which hers is completely blank, but you understand that it just kind of has a blank noise for a little bit and then a beep.
Hey, Sunshine, it's me. Just making sure you're safe. Give me a call back when you have it, or a text, and whenever you're available. Then I'll hang up.
So, you make your phone call, and then you eventually wander back into the office to see what Felix and Clementine have maybe gotten up to. She's back on the iPad and pointing around, showing something that she won from the previous level. Or again, you don't really understand exactly what it is, but Felix seems both impressed and interested. But then as Clementine sees you come back into the room, she looks up and says, "Oh, hey, isn't the club supposed to be opening again this weekend?"
Yes. Yeah. A second grand opening kind of a thing, I guess. Hopefully we drum up enough business with it. I don't know. I have all my fingers out there trying to make sure people come, but who knows?
She moves her shoulders in a bit of a shy way. Am I gonna actually be able to go check out the club this time?
Maybe I'll think about it.
Okay, what if Sunshine escorts me?
How about this? In the beginning, we'll walk around, but then as the night goes on a little bit longer, then maybe I'll have to tuck you away, but for a little bit. All right, just a little.
Okay, I'll take it.
But I need at least a solid 5 hours of physical training from you before.
For sure. We could do that today. Or tonight.
Tonight. Or before the opening. Well, I'll make time. That's not a problem.
So it's like more of a Thursday, like you've got a little time. You're gonna open on a Saturday night, get that real like good weekend crowd to get a you would also figured out that you were going to do like an all kindred bake blowout, so not even have to worry about any humans mixing. Like, you know, maybe that one problem you had the one night, a couple people seeing some individuals in scary makeup upstairs.
Okay, if it's kindred only, then my statement still stands, but I feel better about it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they're still gonna end up drunk and full of things.
Right.
I don't need an answer from you right now, but something to keep in mind after the set tight business. You did wind up with that shipment of werewolf blood. That you had let some of it out into the club, but you've got like still a maybe like a dozen bags, so it's going to be up to you if you sell it at the club, keep it for yourself, or discard it, because you know that as powerful as it can be, it's also addictive. So there's like pros and cons with this stuff.
If I have 12 bags, I keep 2 for myself. I'll sell 10, but I'll leave 10 up to, I forget her name, but the girl who deals with my drug sales.
That'd probably be Lucille, the Malkavian. Tina's more your like, she was more your liaison to work with some anarchs that are in the city, things like that.
Yeah, but Lucille's a little bit of an over drinker, so I'm not sure if we want her getting her hands on that stuff. But
Yeah. So you could even ask, you know, Caleb. Caleb's like kind of your most level-headed guy.
yeah, I just don't want Lucille like dipping into the stash and then getting a little bit hot in the sauce and then going after all of it. So we'll keep it with Tina. I got my notes.
Alright, so maybe Tina thinks for a second, like, I feel like Lucille, and then you give her a look, and she's like, Alright, fine.
Thank you, Tina.
Real quick, before we see any more of our two dads and a child with an E at the end, let's pop over and see what is up with Ike. As we mentioned during the refresher intro, your sire, Cairn, has resurfaced in your life and has been trying to lead you down the path of night. It was essentially a new morality code for anyone less familiar with paths, in that instead of having to worry about not hurting people or breaking the law, which could lower your humanity, which is what most kindred have to worry about, Ike had to lower his humanity to distance himself from it, but then also begin to study, appreciate, practically worship darkness. And by that I mean like the literal otherworldly dark shadows that the Lasombra can summon. He needs to embrace walking into that with no fear, no trepidation, even though there can be a lot of danger and bad things that can come from straying too far into that abyss. So, like, otherwise, you have been staying at your sire's, what's the word?
Apartment?
Yeah, the certain kind of suite.
Yeah.
Penthouse?
Yes, penthouse suite. It was a very, very nice suite that had basically at least 3 bedrooms, a gigantic living room, even a kitchen. Not that he'd really need it. And then, like, bay window, kind of front-facing windows that could be blocked out with just a touch of a button. Money suite. Like, you've been staying there when you had previously been in and out of the local Bruja Primogen's place, Claudia. You know, now you're feeling maybe a little bit torn between these Camarilla friends that you've gotten to really know. Don't come here for the spooky stuff, people. Come here for the cats licking people's faces.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I didn't actually see it. I just saw I saw you laughing first, then goes and I
That
was like,
cat
what?
has been groping Zabani's nipple for the past 5 minutes.
Going to town on him, poor guy.
In any case, yeah, so Ike, while you had spent a lot of time with Claudia, the local Bruja Primogen, who was one of the first people in the city that you felt safe enough to actually open up to, and accept generous offer of a haven and some friendship. You know, now with your sire, you've got this bit of a back and a forth with these Camarilla individuals that you've gotten close to, helped out during their problems. They've helped you, but also realizing more than anything you are really focused on following this path of night and learning abyss mysticism from your sire.
He called it a mysticism once, and Father was not happy.
No. Alright, so actually, let me double check your path. So it's a fun thing understanding its version of sins versus humanity. Wait, this is the wrong one. Path of the Abyss, not night. Path of the Night is what most La Sombra nowadays follow. Road of the Abyss is actually a very old version of a path, really kind of not as well known since the Dark Ages. So it is really only known and followed by Abyss mystics who pass it down to their childer. So now the fun thing is, a lot of these, like, even higher levels you kind of pass, but maybe some of the lower ones, so it's going to be a balance of figuring things out. Now, you certainly are easily past level 3. Let's see. And you had been at Humanity 3. So at this point, you're still a little in that twitchy state, where you are yourself, but your beast is louder and a little more, not necessarily in control, but, you know, it's not the same as having the voice in the back of your head as much as it feels like you're kind of sharing the body, and you've got to suppress this beast when anything shows up in your life that could make it hungry or angry, until you get a little bit of a stronger foot on your path.
Cool.
So you awaken in the apartment suite. Cairn made sure that you had your own space, even though there is another guest staying with the two of you.
He's still there. How long? How much time?
It's been close to 3 weeks. Now, this other member that's been, or this other guy that's been staying with you, Grigore, who you found out was a Jamisi, and far more actually still involved with the Sabbat than, say, your sire, who has been somewhat divorced from it by being an Abyss Mystic. Yes, definitely rubs you the wrong way. You do not like this fellow too much. But he doesn't stay there every night. It's much more like this is an extra space for Grigori to have a haven temporarily, or he meets with your sire Cairn very late at night and then just stays, you know, to beat the sun's rays. In fact, every night that you awake, you're not 100% sure if you're going to see him or not.
Cool. I could probably wake up and just kind of like sit in bed with his phone, checking for text messages, emails. Check Abyss Mystic Daily, the darkest site for your daily news.
Hopefully it's on the darknet.
Gotta use Tor to get to it, so it's fine.
So as you check your cell phone and look around, just see if you've got any interesting messages or anything like that, you are in a group chat with Big Dog, who was a thug you had met working in the drug den known as the Black House, that while it was probably half run by humans, the Set-Tites definitely had a hold on it. And so, like, this group chat is, it may not be lit, but it's always busy. And so, don't even give me that look. So you, like, kind of scroll through, you're not that interested, you're just trying to see if anything of interest pops up, if there's a job, or if you see Big Dog mention anything that's interesting. But then you do notice, like, near the end of the chat, kind of heading into the morning, or into the evening right before you woke up, he does vaguely mention he's got a little buddy that might be able to help out. And you've seen him kind of use that phrasing once or twice before, referring to saying he could get a hold of you for something useful.
Sorry. All right. Yeah. So he was like reaching out to me in the chat, or on the side. Did he slide into my DMs?
He didn't slide into your DMs yet. Just kind of vaguely scrolling through this group chat that has tons of slang and lingo for what everyone's meeting up to actually do or helping each other out with. He says there's like some chat about another job, and it's even still very vague. It's like, hey, you know what we talked about last week? And he says, I got a little buddy that might be able to help.
I would just type back in the group chat, Big Dog, since when do you have friends?
I was actually trying to come up with something clever, and I was like, Big Dog's not actually that clever, so he just tell you to get bent, and pretty much leave it at that. Everybody else in the chat would probably come up with more clever jokes. Big Dog's a bit straightforward, but it's a nice factor about him as well.
Yeah, I would just keep an eye on the side and see if he's going to be forthcoming with any other details. But I'd probably get up, go check around, like poke around the suite a little bit, and as long as no one's like actively around, I'd probably just head on out the door.
So, you eventually leave your bedroom in the suite, and you do see, as usual, Karen is sitting in an armchair. He's got actually like kind of a number of things in front of him. He's got the newspaper, which looks like the standard kind of Times. He's got some printed out articles that I could tell you more if you decide to try and get a closer look at what they are, but they do look like he printed them out specifically from somewhere. And then he's also got one of his older kind of big dusty tomes leaning like half on the side of his arm.
Yeah, I would stroll over to the table, like take a look at like all the stuff he's got out. Careful, Father, you're gonna start looking like some sort of old school Nazi with all this info. Replace screens with papers.
It takes him a second to digest what you said, because it was as though he was still reading something, either between the book or the papers in his lap. But when he finally finishes digesting what he was going over, he looks over to you and says, "Oh, like, good evening." And then slowly your joke processes. I suppose this does look a little bit like a conspiracy theorist, and he starts trying to like rearrange things a bit to try and be a little bit less of a mess. It's it can be difficult trying to follow both current events as well as checking on history when you have so many differing voices. And if you do look a little closer at all the things, you'll see that the papers that were printed look like kind of the font and the setup looks like what you've seen a couple times when you've seen Claudia looking at information on the Camnet. So it's like very straightforward, so it's not like too many, like maybe a picture on the side, but it's very straightforward, like kind of just blocks of text for anything that's interesting or noteworthy for the local society. And then the tome, of course, looks like something you've always seen in his libraries. So, I would guess...
Wait, are you saying he printed out a page of the Camnet?
Yes.
Ike will laugh when he sees that paper. Just, Father, should I fetch you an iPad or laptop? I could, if you would like, instead of printing out online resources.
As he was setting things down on the table and rearranging where he wanted each of them to be, You see his eyes go from that and just slowly up at you without moving his head and says, Ike, you are young in two very different ways. It is difficult for me to sometimes look between the pages I understand and these digital pages.
No problem, man. I figured it all for father.
He gives you a little bit of a crooked smile, kind of basically accepting the jest, but still saying, be careful.
Ike backs off. Well, I'm on my way out unless you need me for something specific.
He picks up the newspaper again, kind of flicks it and turns some pages, trying to look more nonchalant instead of the old man who got caught reading printed web pages, and says, "No, I don't have anything specific right now. Would you tell me, perhaps what you're planning to do this evening?"
Oh, a friend of mine is looking to, I would assume, do some sort of crime, and I thought, that sounds like fun. Either I'll be the good guy or the bad guy, or both, and see if anyone survives.
Karen doesn't have a full sour look on his face, but there is that slight twinge as if a little bit of a nasty smell wafted by, and he says, Ike, I understand what I had you go through to begin your path on the road of the abyss. But
Father, no, I just gonna cut him off real quick. I meant that more jovially. It was just, I'm going to do a thing, and I don't know which side I'm going to be on for the thing, but I'm not going to kill anybody. Unless it can't be helped. Rules and all that.
Karen folds the paper that he was holding, sets it down, stands, straightens his blazer, and walks over to Ike, standing, obviously, towering over him by a good 2.5 feet at least, depending on how tall Ike was at 13.
Ike is short for 13. He's very small.
Yeah. Alright, then Karen is at least a good 3 feet taller than you, and just looks down and says, Ike, I would just like to remind you that in your current state, your beast is going to be a little bit more... And he tries to think of a word. You can almost see, words forming, and he's like, no, that's just too crude. You are comparable to your beast, more so now than you have been in the past. So I would just urge that any fun or debauchery you seek out in your nightly outings, please keep it under control. And if you feel yourself giving in to urges that you shouldn't or are detrimental to your studies, please give me at least a call.
Ike looks up with a really wry smile, like someone's lecturing him, and he's like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" He just looks up and smiles. Yes, Father, although this wouldn't be the first time you've driven me to this position, and I came out just fine last time, so... He's definitely teenager pushing his boundaries here, but he was basically alluding to the way he was turned originally, which was by slaughtering everyone, so...
Karen's just one corner of his brow twitches slightly, but he says nothing more, and he nods. Just be back before sunrise.
I will keep true to the path, Father. That I give you my word.
Good. And he finds himself back in his seat.
I leave. I maybe shut the door a little hard. You could tell I'm a little annoyed at his lecturing. And I'll head down the stairs, and I'll make a stop by the front desk.
Okay.
Kind of wait for one of the. I don't know how fancy the place. I'm sure they have a French name here, but one of the front desk.
Well, one of the front desk clerks, at least, is standing and waiting for anyone who needs anything.
I'm short, so I kind of go over and head up, tiptoe up over top of the desk.
Yes, may I help you?
Oh yes. My father would like some things delivered to his room, and I'll give the room number. I'm sure they know he's a high-profile client.
Yes, of course. So what can I do?
He would like several large pegboards, string, and push pins for which to affix things to the wall. He's trying to solve a crime, you see.
The clerk squints at you, but definitely writes everything down and then nods. I'll make sure we reach out to Mr. Stark as soon as possible.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. You can just deliver it without talking to him.
Very good. Anything else?
I'm worried you didn't hear me. It's a surprise gift. Please do not call and ruin the surprise without delivery.
Should these items be gift wrapped then?
No, but if he isn't in his room, if you could, in the lobby, affix them to the wall before he gets home.
Very good, young sir.
Thank you so much. And he'll probably leave some cash on the table.
How much cash?
Probably 100, because I doubt Karen knows to give me anything other than $100 bills. He's like, will this do for gum?
So Ike heads out into the night to be the troublesome little imp that he is. And even more so with his low humanity. Next, we're going to check in on Angel and Kim, who have settled into some homely bliss in their nice little apartment.
Hey.
Yeah. We need some sitcom music for this shit.
Oh yeah, I've been playing this track for a little while, so let me see what I got.
Yeah, Ike is not.
Ike is a shit.
Is this my weird bouncy
Just
music?
whispered that to him.
I would
That's
say
like
he's
why.
wily.
A wily shit.
Mischievous.
I will use
Shit.
Angel's song that I found. That'll be good for now. Chat, if any of the music is too
Are
loud,
they
please
both
let us
playing
know
together?
because yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, chat, if the
Fire!
music is too loud at any point, let us know. I'm switching back to a different setup, so some of the tracks might be a little wonky. Just let us know, and we'll fix it. But yes, no, Angel and Kim have officially moved into
There's
an
two
apartment
tracks
together.
playing at the same time.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, that's what.
Fixed.
It doesn't sound the worst.
There we go. Because it sounds more menacing than I think it means to.
I've done it before, though. I've actually mixed things together, and they work really well sometimes. Anyway, yeah, Angel and Kim deciding that neither were exactly happy making it alone. They had a bit of a spiritual bond over a couple different things, and they'd heard about these amazing kindred-specific apartments owned by the local harpy Thomas Arturo, and had gone out, applied for one, and, got approved as part of the contract for their apartment. However, there was a vague stipulation about being available for certain favors. Certainly nothing that could, destroy their careers or put them in danger. Just little things. Kind of a, scratch my back, scratch yours. You get one of the best kindred apartments in the city, and I get to ask you for some of your skills now and then. But you know, Angel and Kim, I know you guys kind of have been wanting to go over this. What did you do with your place? I told you it was like a small suite. So you both have a room. There's kind of a spare living space, little kitchen dinette area. At least at least probably like 2 bathrooms. We did mention that Kim would have maybe one aesthetic and Angel would have, you know, his neon lights and hot rod painting.
Angel ain't worried about actually decorating. So long as it's not white and that thing that happened at the other place doesn't happen here.
Kim doesn't care if he hangs pictures up. She's just going to get frames for them. Like, no, just posters tacked to the wall.
This is what you do. Frame some sticky tack.
I mean, if you frame if you frame a ready poster of a car and put it on the wall, then it looks like it's vintage. Like this.
I kind of almost feel like he has a fireman poster or a fireman calendar.
That just goes in your room.
That goes in his bathroom.
One of the only hints that it's obvious that Angel is hella gay. Okay.
Yeah. So I think we decided we hired someone to decorate it.
No, Kim would decorate stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Gives her something to do. I mean, she's super, super busy at the hospital, but it's like it's soothing to be particular to arrange your stuff to her. Like,
yeah.
So, as a part of the previous game and still left over for at least, I'd say, 2 more months, Angel, now Kim doesn't know this, but Angel had confronted her sire in a very white knightish manner, saying, you know, if I ever find out, you know, that you've hurt Kim in any way, and especially in some of the ways I've become a little privy to, you're going to have to answer to me. But unfortunately, the neonate stood up to a much older Malkavian and got blasted with the haunting, which basically means that at any point that, well, in this specific case, the way the doctor left it, that anytime it gets a little too quiet, Angel will suffer from, at minimum, some extreme anxiety and stress, a little bit of panic, and at worst, it may in fact actually induce proper PTSD and flashbacks. He was in fact in the war for New York, so he saw a lot of heinous things, and the first time he found himself truly alone and surrounded by silence after that meeting with Dr. Fargus, he definitely had some flashbacks to the war.
Yep. So always have some kind of music playing in the background. I think Kim tends to play more or tends to take more control of.
Kim does play music a lot. I mean, so it's fine. I imagine they have like one of those Bluetooth speakers and they just kind of hook their phones up, like depending on whoever wants to play music. Yeah, but she tends to play a lot of classical music, but she also doesn't mind whatever Angel
Hey, Angel plays classical music too. It's just classical rock.
I mean, she doesn't care. That's fine. Kim just plays piano. She does actually have like a keyboard in the house as well. Ooh, we got the creepy music now.
So as the same with everybody else, over the next 2 to 3 weeks, you guys slowly settled into your apartment. It wasn't a rush. You had it there. Maybe you even got like the furniture you wanted in, but just every other day you were like, oh, I left that thing back at my old place, or I had this and I threw it out while packing. Got to go to the store and get that. The usual with moving. At some point, Angel and Kim were perhaps... Angel was very vigilant after realizing what was going on making sure he had some music or background noise, even if it was just, like, an audio track of people, like, laying bricks, just something.
It's definitely consistently either her classical music or I probably have, like, a Walkman, like an old school Walkman with the head of just classical rock, Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. And
But at some point over those weeks, especially with you two becoming very close friends, you would have maybe gone out to a event late at night, just, again, get out of that apartment, get away from your respective lives. Angel loves his job, Kim a little bit less, so maybe he realized you need to get out. You take a taxi cab somewhere, and while walking the streets to your actual destination, for New York at night, it suddenly is just a little too quiet. There's barely just, some cars rolling around nearby and some crickets, but it is a very silent night for the New York streets.
Then probably, gonna kind of just default to kind of reaching in my jacket and looking around, grabbing my knife. Not pulling it out, just kind of have it ready.
So the two of you walk for a little while, casually chatting, just, work or anything else that's been of interest to you lately. And then, let me double check something real quick. So actually, go ahead and do that.
Okay. Let's see how no, because I don't want to ask you because you're distracted. You have to look something up. Shoot, I was going to say, how's Kim's research coming on her own MRI scans and shit that she does with her brain? But that's okay. Yeah. So, have you done any interesting custom parts or anything?
I mean, I know, still working on that car for the Giovanni, the day, like that one.
Oh.
that one's fun. It's interesting. Car without any windows, so that's fun.
That doesn't arouse some sort of suspicion.
Very expensive screen. That look an awful lot like windows, but they stop technically the sunlight from coming through, so it kind of solves the problem.
So hold on, you couldn't just mount like window glass, but have it solid?
I mean, it's got the window glass because that protects the screen, but like it lets even even a kindred could drive during the day if they could stay awake, which I've heard is a thing that can sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, I misunderstood what this was. Being the Giovanni, I thought they would have had just like a butler to drive them.
Probably, but like they asked for some weird shit, so I gotta provide.
I mean, if they're willing to shell out for it, like absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then I think that they also wanted to be able to transport bodies. So yeah, and it's still got that cooler in the back, so they can like kind of like that van I did,
Oh, the one that we had to hide in.
Yeah. No, I made one for the I made one kind of with you. That's I got the shipment of werewolf blood. You got the shipment of for the Camarilla, and then my personal van is what we hid in. But yeah, no, it's because they wanted to be able to transport bodies too. It's because they're fucking weirdo.
I'd say it sounds more like more work for me, but it is the Giovanni. You have no idea. So.
Well, that
I'd say it would sound like it's more work for me, but it is the Giovanni, so I have no
they
idea.
unfortunately do shit with that, which creeps me the fuck out.
No, what they do, I really don't. I actually really don't.
I mean, they use bot. Actually, what I know, what I like.
Tangenting into Giovanni exposition. Nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide. Now, this is the one downside of them taking all the lore knowledge point things out of the game. But, I mean, I agree with it for the most part. I think because Angel is a little bit more of a no-nonsense guy, let's say between you're not maybe caring so much about them personally, but being involved in the war, which they were a heavy influencer of, you got to hear some of the rumors from other cams who told you some funny stuff. You don't know if it's necessarily 100% true. But you heard some gross, weird stuff about, corpses and abilities.
So would the word zombies, perhaps? Because again, Angel is a big horror movie buff.
Like a Bruja in the war who was helping Giovanni, and you were setting something up, being like, those guys make fucking zombies, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, because Angel's a big horror movie buff, so yes. Zombie would be a word that he would use.
Anything you would have heard, the Vegas rumors, your mind probably would have immediately gone, wait, fucking zombies?
Yes. Okay. So, best from what I heard, and this is like third-hand account. Who knows if it's actually true. From what I heard, they do like zombies and shit.
Oh.
But again, I heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy who worked with a guy. So who knows if that's actually true?
So
but
very
that's
much
what I heard.
hearsay.
Yeah, but that's what I heard.
I don't think I've ever met one. So, and when I do, I'm not about to go. Excuse me, do you do zombies? Is that a thing you do? My newness can only carry me but so far.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Oh.
So, your ambient chat with Kim, for now, you feel safe enough with that, and some ambient sounds around the city to not feel like you need to, pull out your phone and start blasting some music. But as a point, while you're, walking along, there's a little lull in the conversation. Kim even just seems to, just enjoy walking along with you. Maybe she was thinking about something else. And it just so happens that because something from the war came into your mind and was part of your topic of conversation, as soon as it goes a little too quiet, you just get, not a painful or debilitating flash, but you get a stronger than just in your mind memory of that time you were talking with that Bruja, and then a quick flash again with that same Bruja later firing at people.
So can, just for simplicity's sake, are we going to assume that we have full blood pools, or one down because we woke up?
We'll see. You guys are comfortable. Maybe you need a feed soon, but you're not starving or anything.
Okay. Then because I'm focusing on this PTSD, I'm going to kind of just, look around. Really tempted to activate my quickened sight. To make sure if anything comes at me, I can see it coming.
Alright, Kim, go ahead, roll perception empathy for me.
Okay. Right, I'm Night Dinah. I don't get elder rolls. Damn it.
Oh no, it's back to your poor little babies.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ike's always been an arrogant little shit.
2 successes.
Okay. Over the last couple weeks, and you getting closer to Angel in your friendship and literally living together, you've noticed a couple little quirks now and then, like him seeming to kind of stop in his tracks almost and look away or look distant, and this reminds you of those. You haven't brought it up because, of course, you didn't want to pry too much, but you've been living together for a few days now. This is maybe the 5th or 6th time you've really seen this kind of just sudden jolt in his face and maybe body language. So you it seems like something you at least don't remember having seen from him before.
Okay. Hey, are you okay?
No. Oh, just sorry, just bad memories.
Can I help?
It's fine. I'll just maybe a little louder. It's just memories from the war. Sorry, just
Angel,
a little on edge.
Angel, you've been doing this a lot, Angel. You just kind of stare for a second, and it just looks worse this time. Look, I'm sorry. I noticed.
Yeah, it just after all of the shit that happened recently, I'm kind of on edge lately. I'm sorry.
Okay. You're sure I can't help in some way?
No, but I don't know what you could do. It's just saw some fucked up shit, and we just did some fucked up shit not too long ago. So,
Can I get you help?
I'll probably be fine. Look, thank you. I'll probably be fine.
She just kind of arches an eyebrow at you.
Yeah, I will be fine. Thank you, Kim.
Hey. It's pretty clear she doesn't believe you.
Hey, she shouldn't.
So Kim now has a stronger inkling about something at least slightly more regularly bothering Angel. But the two of you continue along. Angel maybe forcibly keeps conversation going, or tries to turn down busier streets on the direction.
Maybe starts whistling a little bit.
But the rest of the night seems to go fine. You make it to this gallery you were gonna go check out of interest. You knew a couple toreadors who had been begging you to go see it. You thought, get out of the house. Wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, so now it's just Kim's got a little bit of an interesting thing to keep an eye out for with her roommate and friend. And we're gonna move along to our new lady, Cora.
Yes, ma'am.
Now this is a little too somber. At least for now. We'll see. I'll stick with that for now. So Cora, I'm gonna have a couple extra questions for you since you're joining us a little bit more fresh. Now you had moved back from staying with anarchs out on Staten Island back into the main city, back into Manhattan, main hub in New York City for all of the Camarilla, and you moved back in. You moved back in, correct? Not just adjacent?
I moved back in.
Yeah, okay. So you moved back in with your sire, Thomas. Last name?
Brigham.
Yes. Okay. Now, for the audience's sake, Thomas's derangement is in fact paranoia. And it'll be relevant and obvious enough as we go, because the point was he was so worried about Cora being out on Anarch Island, because, you know, as Camarilla consider them to be basically rebellious teens. They don't know what they're doing. They think they have an idea of how to run a community, and of course it never works. It never has. Every Anarch community has always fallen apart eventually. So after he down the grapevine heard about this fun to do at the Rebels' Kiss about these Setites being wiped out. These Setites who had been in the city basically as long as the Sabbat had, which was decades, was both impressive and frightening. The prince was relatively happy, but a bit confused on how it happened under her nose without her knowing about it. Cora, maybe you've gotten a couple little clues about a primogen named Claudia who had a hand in it. And again, Thomas may be like shuffling through papers a little bit dizzy with information, just kind of spilling things out at you. It's just like, apparently Claudia knew what was going on, didn't exactly tell the prince, or told the prince, and maybe the prince ignored it. I don't exactly understand in which way those communications happened. Knowing the prince and Claudia's relationship, I don't think that there's a good chance Claudia kept her out of the loop, or the prince did know and is feigning lack of knowledge for a good reason. There's a lot to unpack here. So you're listening to Thomas kind of explain a lot of these Camarilla politics that happened over just a couple weeks. And you've already been gone for several months. So you're kind of taking in names that how good at like retaining information fast or names is Cora?
Like in theory she would be better than she is, but she is unfortunately she would have a notepad. She'd be taking notes.
That's fine. I meant like would it be one ear out the other, or would it be like, okay, I'm gonna at least write those names down?
So like I think in general, like she wasn't prepared for it, so he started to do things and she's like, okay, Claudia, okay, maybe I should remember Claudia. Wait, who's Claudia again? So like she's gonna ask him, hey, maybe could you back up and who's Claudia exactly?
All right, now some key things you're definitely going to hear out of the conversation are going to be the prince, Regina, Claudia, who you'll hear is a primogen. Maybe you miss which clan, or it wasn't important to him, just that it was Claudia and Regina fighting, or maybe not fighting, or who knows. The other like key things he's going to kind of be repeating in his like, he's not always scatterbrained, but sometimes when he's trying to work through things, it's a little bit fast-paced, and it's hard to always keep up his pace in his brain as he spills it all out. But you also hear the name Roland, you've never heard of before, and a club called the Rebels' Kiss. You're also going to hear about the Setites a lot, which you would know about, but like you probably don't know much about them other than rumors about like, don't mess with them. If they offer you something, don't take it. Kind of just like bad strangers with candy, leave them alone. And so like these are like kind of going to be like the 5 or 6 topics that like spell out every like few sentences as he's like working these things out. So it's, you know, again, another like couple weeks from the end, and like maybe in that time frame you came back, and you've settled into a bit of an agreement with your sire about like, I'm here to stay. And as far as you explained it to me, you wanted to make clear to him like, hey, I still need my freedom from the nest, but I think we can help each other. Because you know and he'll even admit he's a little, he could use help because he's so scatterbrained. And then also with your own personal problems, sometimes you might need that little backup, someone to call. Maybe it's the number 1 in your speed dial right now.
I'm sorry, what was that about speed dial?
I was going to say, with your mutual helping relationship between you and your sire, with your personal derangement, maybe Thomas is in your speed dial.
Yeah.
Number one just is like, I gotta call this guy. Do you want to share? Or do you want to keep it a little more secret? Totally up to you.
No, that's fine. So Cora's derangement is she has transient global amnesia, which just means that there are times for her which are triggered for with high stress that will make her blank, and it's difficult for her to process new information, and it's difficult for her to remember things that have recently just happened, and by the end of the occurrence she doesn't really know what has occurred during that kind of spell.
So very possible to remember maybe grander events. Maybe you might even remember Thomas during one of these events. But and you do keep in mind that you're kindred. There isn't really so much the idea of like you'll forget that you can't see the sun. But there will certainly be like maybe a lack of where you just were, anybody standing around you that you had learned their names and had been working with suddenly can just go out the window. So again, you would have thought maybe like, I'll put Thomas as speed dial, and all I gotta do is look on my phone and be like, who did I last call, or who's my first contact? This guy? Just gonna call him.
Yeah, well, and she keeps a notebook, so she'll have it with.
Question, I would imagine you'd keep maybe a smaller one for it to be easier to carry around, but that can get filled up fast. Do you have like a bookshelf with like all your old?
She has a few, yeah, and right. So she keeps hard notes because she is a little so she keeps hard notes because she's a little afraid of who might read them, and the notes are typically kind of like FBI speech, like they're like a little coded. But yeah, she has a few in like a small bookshelf that's just dedicated to.
So
like,
you take after Daddy.
Well, and it's more out of like it started as humoring him, and now it's just second nature.
So you move back in with Daddy Thomas. What's his place like? Like you told me he is a professor of history at local university, so like, decent money, maybe not crazy, but could probably have an okay place. So let me know what your living situation's like.
Yeah, no, it's a nice apartment that commands a decent view of it was initially pretty antiquated in terms of its decoration, just because of that's what Thomas likes, but Cora has kind of gotten her hands in there a little bit, and so there's definitely like some comic book shit thrown around, and it's not very tidy, as well as like there's a few plants on things, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, and definitely when it comes to decorating style, it is less of the wonderfully thoughtful Kim, let's put a frame around this poster, and it's more of like, let's just get sticky tack and put a poster up.
Good. And let's speed ahead a little bit, especially for anybody that's watching this and is very familiar with all of our other characters. We'll put a couple extra notes out there that Cora is a software engineer, specifically in the development stage of things, actually helping to develop software. And like key interests as someone who is both younger as a human and embraced recently. So very much, I think you said early 20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, so very early 20s, like kind of just in college, just out. So she's actually interested in comic books, hip-hop dancing, and I think we had one other topic of interest. And gardening. And on top of all that, so we talked a little bit about the software engineering. Is there a type of software she tends to work with the most, or one she likes to work with the most?
Her job is pretty boring at the moment. Like, it's not exciting. And she does have an interest, like she would like to switch over, but this is money, so she's comfortable for now. But she would like to switch over to something more fun. But right now she just does like the development software for like accounting software for like a banking firm or whoever wants to buy it.
So as the days and at this point, couple weeks continue, living with your sire again after your stint with the Anarchs. Previously, obviously, you'd spent a good 5 years as a fledgling, being taught what it meant to be kindred, what it meant to walk among the the knights and not piss off anybody important. All those really good things to keep yourself alive and living past your embrace. You're back at the home shelter nest, and just kind of like you immediately had to set down some of these ground rules. You're like, look, Thomas, I want to work with you here, but maybe now and then he was being too protective or demanding, and you had to like set your foot down. But still, even out now and then, he gets just a little extra antsy and starts like saying like, don't go here, don't go to this part of the city. But Cora's a little adventurous, especially someone who likes to go to clubs and enjoy the nightlife. And you sometimes just really need to escape, just leave the apartment, maybe even crash somewhere else, and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Now she, in terms of rebelling, are we talking about, I'm sorry, is this her conversation with him or is this her rebelling? Because I have a place in mind to go if that's the case.
I was bringing some of that up. What was your thoughts? Because I was going to say there's one night in particular, he's almost like he's actually going over the same stuff you've already heard him talk about, this Claudia and the prince, and he's worried what's going on with the Setites, and the prince is obviously hiding some stuff about potential Sabbat movements. He just got some tricklings down the line, and you're still like, you don't even fully understand what the Sabbat is, so you're like...
Yeah, no, should be a little over it by this point, and he could probably use a hand, and so if he's brought up the Rebel's Kiss more than once, she'd probably want to check it out because that's a tangible location.
So, yeah, that's the thought that comes into your head. So you, go looking into information. You find online that the Rebel's Kiss has been closed for a time, last, couple weeks. But there's, a big note saying, we'll be reopening soon, not a definite closing. And you're getting reacquainted with New York proper, Manhattan, where the Camarilla are, but you're sociable enough that you find yourself at another club some kindred tend to congregate at, and you ask around a couple people and you find out that there is a grand opening happening in a few days, and it is kindred only.
Okay. Yeah, no, she would be keen to participate.
And that is a perfect spot for a break, because we will be coming up on that next. So for everybody who's in the chat, if you have any questions about what's going on with the game, our player characters, especially if you have any questions for Cora, who's joining us new, go ahead and ask those in the chat. We'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll chat for a couple minutes. I'm going to run for a second, and we'll be back to the game in a few.
Hey, Elvish. Can I just say I appreciate your Pattersong joke? Though admittedly, it would be a little hard to follow up on that.
No. I've been trying to think up rhyme schemes ever since I made it, right? So I was going I am the very model of a medical Malkavian. I study science, human. And so I was trying to lang them all and then end it with avian. I can make it work, guys. Okay, it would work.
So it would be much easier if you're clever with the lines and you don't actually end the sentence at the end of the line. Like if you end it with crazy and then start the next sentence with
no. Crazy and does not rhyme with Malkavian. Okay, that does not rhyme at all. It's not even a slang. It's not even close.
Yeah, if you pronounce it correctly. However, if you say
I would consider it a problem. Okay, the point of the patter song is to be as precise with the damn rhymes as possible. Like,
It's a hard rhyme scheme to follow, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, Bosco, we skipped about 3 weeks from the last New York. This is a continuation, but sort of a fresh start, so not quite a...
it sucks rolling about half the dice I was rolling. That's how it feels to step back into newbie pants. But also, I don't mind. Like, it's kind of nice to step back that way.
I'm looking at like, oh yeah, can you roll me a perception subterfuge? And I'm like, sure. Let me throw out these 11. Oh shit, 3 dice.
No. I was looking, if I had to do a manipulation subterfuge, you know how many dice I get? 2.
I think the only thing I have that still makes me feel like a boss when rolling is up 10, but it's also incredibly difficult and likely to botch. So,
well, Angel,
Still,
I'm gonna use
like, that
patterns
was
on you, okay? You're not gonna tell me anything, and I know that. I'm gonna fucking figure this shit out, whether you want me to or not.
Hey, Zibs appreciates that. Angel does not.
I know.
Look at Dr. Kim learning how to be a Malkavian.
Right? Well, she's not a disrespectful Malkavian. She asked him first, and he obviously needs help, and is one of those people who doesn't like
Fucking
admitting they need
fine.
help.
I asked you
So-
about this private thing and you didn't tell me, so now I'm just gonna read your brain.
I'm gonna
It's 'cause-
decide for
it's
myself
'cause-
whether you need help, okay?
It's because we're friends, and I'm a doctor.
Clearly. I'm not a brain. Well,
Hey,
I'm not
you're making it seem
therapist.
no. Spira,
That was
you're
actually
making it
super
seem
funny
like a
'cause you were about
dick.
to be like, I'm not a brain doctor. I was like, wait.
Well, I'm not a therapist.
Spira. No, you're making it seem like a dick move. It's not a dick move. Sometimes people need help and don't want to
They do.
fucking admit it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm having fun with it, though, because she's like, well, you didn't tell me, so brain scan.
La 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 la.
We're gonna turn Dr. Kim Brown into Dr. Phil. Just reads patterns when everybody's like, your problem is this. Go get over it. Go get help.
Actually, there was a combo discipline that Abraham could have taken that makes that stupid. It's like Auspex Presence, and it lets you read just what someone's current like emotional state is.
I mean, that's just Auspex.
No, I don't remember exactly what it is, but like I remember looking at it being like, God damn, that'd be great for a therapist.
You can do that if you're a demon, 5th house, the Defilers. That's their legit job. That's like the first dot.
Yeah, but demons are stupid powerful.
What? No, that's like the third dot of Auspex, isn't it? Auras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Auras
Yeah.
is 2, so it's actually not that bad. 2.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah. 1 is you pick one of your 5 senses and heighten it for a while. 2 is auras. So most people who pick a clan that they know they're gonna want to use aura and social and reading people kind of stuff, will throw 2 in that aspects. Like, if I remember, no. I always remember, I forget exactly which one it is, but I had like an NPC that wanted their 3 main disciplines, and they're younger, so they can only really have those first 3. Took the first one, because that's pretty useful in a lot of situations, and specifically chose not to bother pushing it, because they're like, I don't give a crap about people. I feel like it's sunshine, but I... Where's my sheet for O'Connell? No, Auspex isn't a regular for Nosferatu. I'm thinking of someone who has like a similar personality to her.
No, it's like Toreadors and Malkavians, and
Yeah.
I forget who the last one is, but
I definitely had someone that was like, oh wait. Okay. It's Benedict.
What is
'Cause
your-
it's Benedict. He's old enough to have Auspex from learning from
what's your
someone
dog
else.
doing?
He's digging up the bed and now he's sniffing out the window.
He needs it.
He like threw the pillow up in the air and it fell on his head, and then he just looked out the window and ignored it.
He's
Like-
he's
how
living
he likes
his
to
best
destroy
life.
the bed? Oh, it was funny. It was like 6:30 and he was already like tearing up the bed. And I was like, we're not even on stream yet, baby. You're impressing nobody.
Oh, he knows you're talking about him.
No, but it was Benedict. He has Auspex because he's old enough to have gotten it from somebody else, but he stopped at Aura. He was like, I don't need anymore. I don't need to like read objects or like talk to people in their brains. I just want to be able to like see what they're thinking and smell better, I guess. Alright.
It's
So
gonna take a little bit more soap for you to smell better.
hey, Benedict showers
At
occasionally.
least once a month.
At least once. He's got some nice Irish spring, you know, just
I could get him some embalming fluid.
He's not
No, you're
the Maddie.
thinking,
yeah, I mean your blood doesn't pump, but it's like it's still like in your body, so I feel like embalming would just it'd make you a little bloated. Just kinda like Alright, I was waiting back for Hope, and she is back now. So, getting back into the game. Roland.
Yeah.
We left off with you texting Sunshine like on a Thursday night with your grand reopening occurring on Saturday. Hoping to hear from your lovely lady. You still never get a voicemail or any text that night. She's starting to maybe get a little worried. You got Ben's number 2. You text him. All you get back is, I ain't her keeper. Text her. So you're just, you know, right now, like you just gotta focus on that night, right? You gotta make sure the night opens well, the bar gets a good kickoff, get some money back in your pocket. You know, besides everything that everyone else is taking care of, your bouncers, your socialites, the actual other employees you have, half of them human, half of them ghoul, they get everything set up, all good to go. Place looks fantastic. Your bar is stocked. You've even got plenty of other party favors available, both human and kindred equatable. You know, some blood that's got a little extra kick to it. And you send out an invitation to Angel and Kim, who you now know are living together in apartments. Felix, you obviously told, and maybe even asked him to help out as just an extra hand. Like, maybe, like, he can party, but, like, help out if anything goes crazy. Kind of paid,
Oh, yes.
paid quiet guy.
Just kind of lurking around, yeah.
Secret shopper. You know? Something goes out of hand, you're there, but have fun.
I like that term, secret shopper. Yeah. Plain clothes.
You get an invitation out to Claudia and Ike, as far as you can find out where they are. And then otherwise, just every other kindred either you've met, or you give like a whole like little like stack to Lucille and Tina and tell them to go out into the town. Don't invite every riffraff, but anybody that's gonna be worth it, gonna have some money, and gonna make the place a lot of fun that night. Just give them an invitation, make sure they show up.
All right, sounds good. Oh, but I did tell Clem that we would walk around in the beginning.
Yes, so you even told everybody working that like you were gonna open maybe 20 minutes earlier inside and let like a couple VIPs in or something, maybe the PCs that you know, if they're already in line or show up early enough, get them in. Maybe a couple other people, let them go to the bar right away. If they're, you know, fine and or rich looking, but not the full built up crowd outside. So a few people start trickling in. Out of curiosity, Angel, Kim, Ike, and Cora, you were told what time the official grand opening is. Are you more of a like show up then or a show up fashionably late type?
I like to think that the way they got the invitation out to Ike was they put it on the back of a milk carton, like, have you lost this kid? If you have, bring him to this location at this, and he shows up with the milk carton.
Realistically, Claudia reached out and said, I got this, I don't know if I can go, but Roland, you know, seems to want us there, so.
Yeah, more
Ike
likely
would probably
Roland
show
would,
up
like,
and
tie it
stand
to it.
midline. Like, he wouldn't be like early, but he'd wait. He'd be like on time, but wait for a bit of a line to build up.
Ike does love annoying a bouncer.
Cora is
Hey.
punctual.
Cora's post, she's like there, like front of the line. I like it. Kim and Angel, are you gonna like just show up when you show up?
I don't specifically see Angel being invested in showing up early. However, he's probably going to go with Kim, and if Kim says, "Hey, we need to leave. It's time to go," I can see Kim being the timekeeper. The "Hey, we need to go. It's time to go. Let's go."
I could see Kim being like, it says 6 o'clock, like, we need to fucking be there at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, Avish.
Yes.
We showing up at the Rebels Kiss grand opening. So Angel's
yeah.
no. Angel's not going to be particularly invested in showing up on time. However, I feel like Kim might be the kind of person. No. It says 6. We need to be there at 6. Hurry up, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kim is gonna usher.
He's a little OCD about punctuality.
I figured she might be.
All right. What is Cora wearing?
She's wearing like short shorts and a Spider-Man shirt.
Yes.
Cool.
What Spider-Man? Like, we talking like a new Spider-Man movie or like a old Amazing Spider-Man? Like,
we're talking about like a comic strip shirt.
okay,
like
cool.
Okay, I was about to say, like, is it like the suit in a shirt,
It's like
or
it's like a vintage like Spider-Man comic strip on a shirt type of deal.
All right, so at the front of the club, the bouncers Caleb and Thor. I took time to find these photos.
Shit, can I take that back? It's so much more
I
fun
know
if
it.
there's a
It's
Spider-Man
Thor.
shirt as a shirt.
Caleb and Thor, Spira.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I said I took time to find these photos, so I'm pulling them up.
Okay.
So at the front of the club, 2 bouncers in front of the door are Caleb and Thor.
Did you get a new photo for Caleb?
No, they're the same.
I don't know.
I did. I updated nothing except Cora's photo. And so there's already a very long line kind of trailing back, but just every like few minutes, you know, another couple people walk by and ask what it is, or a cab pulls up with purpose and people get out and join the line. Cora, you're very near the front, maybe only another couple people in front of you. Kim, similarly, you're like maybe one behind the person behind Cora. You got there like just in time. Angel maybe like kept you waiting. He had to make sure his jumpsuit was, you know, nice and pressed.
Jumpsuit.
If we're going out to a premiere, I'll probably wear my one fancy suit.
Alright, so he's wearing his one fancy suit, but then realizes, there's a bit of a wrinkle, and he's just like... But you guys
It's
get
about
there.
this time that Cora realizes she's painfully underdressed.
But, so Roland, you kind of already gave instructions that about 15-20 minutes before official opening, for Caleb and Thor to like take a look at the front of the group, the crowd, if they notice anyone to definitely let them in right away, and maybe just like another 3 or 4 people. So they make that kind of announcement to the front of this group of people, including Angel and Kim, and they definitely like kind of point to them like, yeah, come on up this way. Cora, as well as another 3 or 4 kindred, are let into the club. And then as soon as people like start to think like it's just all everybody, they hold their hands out and say, soft start, give us a minute, we're making sure everything's good. These are guests of the owner, I guess.
Wait, did I get waved in or did I get told to wait?
No, you're in.
Okay.
They would say VIPs, not
Yeah.
like guests of the, but they're VIP.
It was Thor, because he's not as eloquent. Caleb takes over a second later and goes, sorry, VIP guests, we'll be in another 20 minutes. There's some, but everybody's, just excited to see the club again. Or for the first time if they hadn't been in the first time. And so, yeah, Cora, Kim, Angel, another few people. You've entered the club, and hold on,
hold
we
up.
need some new music.
Was this a vampire only open?
Yes.
Then, like, out of character, I get why Cora gets to go in because she's one of the
Yeah.
PCs. In character, why is she a VIP?
They were told actually just a first few people and anyone you recognize right away.
So it looks so Cora got in because she just happened to be
To be at the front of the line.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm into it then.
Because Roland wants her to just feel like there's some people in the club. So they're going to, like, go to the
Yeah.
bar. It's going to still be, like, max 7 people in there. It wasn't actually VIPs. Just, they saw Angel and Kim and went, like, yeah, this way. And then, like, the other, like, 7 people up in the front.
Angel, well, Kim looks quite a bit better than the last time that she was over at the bar for like a kind of opening when she just wore her
so what are
fucking
you wearing,
scrubs.
Kim?
This time she's actually wearing like a dress.
Nice. What kind of dress?
Like it's like a longer like black sleeves to like the elbow, and it's like a V-neck kind of wrap dress, like a classy kind of black dress that kind of cinches at the.
Very nice. So, as everybody enters the club, and especially now, Angel, Kim, you've been there before. A couple of the other people have as well. Kayla and Thor kind of recognize them, so they're also like, that's safe. Like, come on in. Cora, you're brand new to this club. You've never seen it since it was opened. So the main floor has basically round tables along the left side, kind of along the front from going away from the door, and then booths along the right side. There's good like carpet walking in between all that space. There is a long horseshoe bar on the left side, which Angel and Kim and some of the other people are gonna like kind of negate, like just straight go toward. Behind that bar are stairs you can see that immediately lead up to a walking balcony that follow the back walls, and there's a half second floor that you can see a little bit. It's dark, but you can kind of vaguely see like some more like lounge chairs just from that direction. And then middle of the first floor is an actual dance floor, actual like tiled space for dancing. And then right behind that is a large DJ booth that has a young Asian woman. She's got like that really, she's got black hair and it's really short, but like still has like pigtails in the back. And definitely a little cyber styling with like the way her like vest and the really bright cyberpunky colors of her like shirt and some arm like cuffs that she has on. Right now there's a bit of a low rock beat going on that is definitely one of Roland's favorites. Not that you know that specifically, but
Right.
seems a little rock heavy for what seems like a dance club. but you
Yeah.
figure maybe it's the starting music.
Okay, yeah, no, she would have. Her initial interest would have been dancing, but she doesn't know how to dance to rock music, so she'll kind of.
There's also only about 7 or 8 people in the club just yet, so
That would not have.
you saw everyone pile straight at the bar.
That would not have dissuaded her, but the music, it's nice, but
Yeah,
she can't dance to
it's kind of a chill rock beat for right now.
it. Yeah, no, then she will mosey on over to the bar.
Angel and Kim, you see the same club as you've always known it. Maybe things have been... the tables are a little spruced up. Maybe some of the curtains along the walls have been replaced, but mostly the same. Just like a touch to freshen the place up.
I mean, walk in, probably go to the bar, you know,
Mhm.
grab a drink.
Yep.
Now, Roland, you're downstairs, and Felix and Clementine are, like, bent over, looking at her, trying to get level 20 again. When you get a text from Caleb that they let in the first small wave, and he did recognize 2 of your friends. He can't actually remember their names, so he just says 2 friends.
Is Felix dressed differently than he normally is, or is he just wearing weird shit?
I'm currently wearing weird shit because I forgot what time it was.
Okay.
Wanders upstairs like someone who forgot there was a house party being thrown at their house.
I feel personally called out.
Clementine, on the other hand, has been sitting in her nicest dress that she got with you out recently, but still angrily playing her game. So she's in a very cute dress, just like...
He would have very much so gotten her a new dress just for this one. But
Which, Roland re-entering, he just goes, oh, and he just darts into his room. You hear him
And
shuffling to his desk.
Clementine wanted to, like, put it on the day before and sleep in it, but you went, no, you'll get it wrinkled.
Felix, get dressed, Felix.
That's what I'm doing, muffled.
Clem, it seems like some of our guests have arrived. Are you ready?
Also, as a note, the construction interior designers who refitted your downstairs apartment did make a simple bathroom, because obviously still Kindred might want to shower now and then. If you happen to have a ghoul guest, it's nice enough to have a toilet and a sink, so, like, you know, there's a space to, like, just kind of go for a second for privacy.
Showering and stuff, yeah.
So
Clement.
Felix disappears, she loses the level 20 again, and sighs and sits it down.
Clem, are you ready to go see our guests now?
Oh, now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going right now?
Well, Felix, are you almost
I'm ready.
Then,
He still
yeah.
takes another minute.
It's just still weird shit, but like with a tie.
It's not like
I
a
feel like
real
it still has,
tie.
like,
it's
he has,
like
like, weird
raccoon
trinkets.
skin
He's
tie.
got the weird
It's
trinkets
like,
on him.
it's not.
Like it's the same outfit, but just not with jeans and a tie.
I think Roland got him an outfit, but I thought he lost.
You like soiled it the first night. Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to think that he's got like a whole bunch of like uniform ribbons from all sorts of different places, but like arranged in a pattern. He has no idea what the fuck they are.
I'm really hoping for like a novelty bandana that he only wears for special occasions.
The blue one, you know.
Can it look like a tuxedo? So it's like tuxedo white and a bow tie, like when he puts
Or
it
like
up?
a Niagara Falls bandana, like a tourism spot.
I went to Niagara Falls and all I got was this shitty.
Or just I Heart New York. He picked it up all excited, like, oh.
I do heart New York.
Maybe he hearts Quebec because he's French Canadian.
Felix. I think it's distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Great.
And he comes out and he has a fumbled tie. I think I misplaced your suit.
That's fine. It's kindred only, so I'm assuming you won't be the only one underdressed or well over.
Oh, then I can get rid of this.
I'll hold out a hand for Clementine and start walking for the elevator.
So Felix will just be normal dressed. And it looks fancy. He's got a coat.
So you take the elevator that goes from your basement apartment up to the alleyway of the first floor. Leaving that, you walk through the back door. The three of you enter the club, and because there's only a few people other than the DJ girl, and most of them are kind of hanging around the bar, Clementine at least is still like extra excited though. She loves walking into the club even when it's dead, but now that there's actually music and a few people, she tries to run straight toward the bar.
Cora's gonna
Roland.
look deeply confused for a second at seeing a child in this.
Roland will let her run, but then he'll walk with, I'm assuming, Felix and go. Now, Clementine, do you remember how to order?
Cora-
Half looking over her shoulder while yelling, yeah, I remember, and she continues running toward the bar. She, like, gymnastic style, puts her hands on one of the bar stools and then hops up onto it.
Who is the bartender?
It's one of your ghouls, so a guy you've gotten to know and talk to and trust.
Jeff.
Jeff. We'll go with
Jeff.
Jeff. Let me write down
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Look, I've got like 50-something NPCs with backstories, so now and then we need a
Well-
Jeffrey.
You know, they're bartenders. They swap out easily.
Oh, yeah.
Am I up to the bar yet, or is Clem? Did she beat me to it?
She ran fast, but maybe a little daddy instinct had you clopping along a little quicker. You make it there. You do notice Angel and Kim. Obviously, maybe a little focus on Clem first, but you do see them in the early crowd because it's only a few people.
Evening, Jeffrey.
Evening, boss. What can I do for you?
Well, Clementine, what would you like?
He looks down at the girl, smiling, kind of like just, he has that like candy shop guy, just like, what do you want, honey?
Well, Clementine, what would you like?
Oh,
I forgot I played her.
by the
So,
way,
like, for a second, I was like, wait.
hey,
So
Roland.
she looks up, smiling, and says, she looks at you for a second, says, and then looks back at him. Whatever you suggest. She tries to say in a very sophisticated tone. And
Hey,
he nods, smiles, turns back. You see him, fuss with a fridge behind him and starts making something in a little rocks glass.
Yes, Felix.
When you weren't paying attention to Felix, suddenly he has a tie that you don't recall him trying to put on, and a completely different color scarf hat. And you now probably realize that you've never seen underneath the scarf hat before.
Felix, what are you? Did you have that stashed upstairs or in the elevator? What are you?
I know it was in my pockets. I felt underdressed.
Felix, you have bandanas and ties in your pockets at all time, or is it?
Mary Poppins style.
Bandanas, yes. Ties, occasion.
Okay. Jeffrey, can I get 2 of the usuals for Felix?
Roland's like, you got all that in your coat? And Felix leans over, it's bigger on the inside.
fucking premiere.
Tremere.
So Clementine is just like bouncing in her seat, really excited to kind of be amongst the adults in the club and feeling like she's finally getting to hang out all the times Roland said that she couldn't. She's glancing around at the other 7 people there. She does see Angel and Kim, who she recognizes. She waves excitedly at them. And then she sees the one girl looking in clothes that she would prefer to be in and kind of really excitedly goes, "I love your shirt."
Oh, thanks, hon. You need help ordering, or?
No, I think, and she glances over at Jeffrey, I think he's gonna get me something. Yeah, hi.
All right, then. You just let me know if you need any help.
And she
Clementine.
just continues smiling.
Clementine, you're supposed to introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My name's Clementine. What's yours?
Oh, my name's, and she'll kind of look over between her and Roland. My name's Cora. It's nice to meet y'all. What
And
about
Felix is chilling in the background. Just so you know.
what about your friends?
Oh, this is Roland. He's kind of my dad. And this is Felix. And then she fully arm points at Angel and Kim. And that's Angel and Kim.
Here are our names.
Okay, I need to know now seating, just for my own edification. Is Cora sitting in between everyone, or is she on one side?
Angel and Kim, you can say. I imagined you'd like head to the bar. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
back
we
in
went to the
middle.
bar and grabbed drinks.
Clementine, at least, she ran as fast and quick to it, so she's the further right end of it along the left wall. So looking at the rest of you, probably to her left.
So yes,
Okay,
you would
so
probably be in the
I'm
middle.
sandwiched between Clem and
I think
a
so,
bunch
yeah.
of people Clem has claimed to.
Yeah.
Roland would walk up and shake your hand. Roland, it's a pleasure.
Oh,
Clementine
of course,
bursts out
absolutely.
very loud in between you two, introducing each other. Says, "He owns the club."
Oh, you, the club owner.
Yes, I own this club. Thank you, Clementine.
Well, it's fantastic to meet you.
And you, I also enjoy your t-shirt.
Are you a fan of Spider-Man? Or
I'm nothing of any particular sorts. I just enjoy it. I don't see very many t-shirts like that at the Rebels.
oh well, I got a ton. I realize I'm a little underdressed, but I think it helps me stand out.
It definitely does. Excuse me for a second, and I'll go walk up to Kim and
Felix just standing back here like, please.
I'm
Stands
just gonna
out.
Watch them.
Yo, you think you stand out? Look at this guy.
Yeah. I've got a tie and whatever this is going on in here.
She thinks it's nice. She thinks it's fancy.
Yeah, that's true.
I ship it.
Kim, Angel, it's nice to
Hello.
see you two.
It's been a minute.
It definitely has. How's things?
We live together now.
Yeah. Jeff Arturo, you know him. He's got an apartment complex. It's like us.
Oh yes, yeah. I looked at it for a little bit.
It's not a bad place.
Fun. Yes, but you two together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
no, not
well.
romantically. No.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay, we never talked. It just
Yeah, no, you're correct. You in fact are correct there. Yes.
It's just really,
Hey, Spira, can I heighten perception? I want to
No.
eavesdrop. Cool.
Does sound?
Like a proper Malkavian.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That first dot is basically tell me you're doing it and what sense.
Yeah, it's just hearing. She wants to, because Roland is the one that her sire was raving about.
Basically, anyone who has first dot and specs, just tell me you're doing it. And tell me, there are rare circumstances it may still include a roll, like if it's really, really loud and crazy, and you're trying to hear something or see something through a really crowded space. But otherwise, like in this situation, it's just let me know you're doing it.
so.
Beans.
What brought this along? You two together? Couldn't get enough of each other throughout the night.
I mean, we get along. I don't super spend, like, neither of us really super spend a lot of time at our separate apartments. Like, we both have very, very busy at work.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Felix is living with me for the most part, so I guess it's not too out of
How many people are living with you now?
well, there's me, Clementine,
Depends on the day.
Felix, and then sometimes whenever Benedict feels like coming in and Sunshine shows up, so give or take a few.
Am I not correct in remembering that Ike stays here every once in a while? Not like super often, but like I thought it had happened.
You have, like, what would you call that? What do you call a gathering of us? Is it like a murder?
Almost like a murder.
Oh my
Yes.
god, I was gonna say a murder.
Or a swarm.
Technically it's an unkindness, but
Thank you, Saponi.
Do you are bats like a flock or are they a swarm?
That's racist. I'm not a gangrel.
A pack, maybe?
Colony.
Colony
A
or
group of
cloud?
bats.
Colony.
Oh, cloud.
Colony.
Colony of
Cloud's
bats, you're
so
right.
better. Cloud is so much better. And a cloud of kindred. Oh, I love it.
Not to be confused with a clown of kindred.
A cloud of
With a
kindred
cloud,
really,
yeah.
like
No, that's what
higher level
Malkavians
games.
get together. That's what
But I thank you guys for coming. It's nice seeing.
Yeah,
familiar
I'm glad it's back open. It's nice to have a place to not to be ourselves.
Of course. Please come join Felix and Clementine. I'm sure would love to.
So
Felix is babysitting.
Well, Clementine is here.
as Roland starts chatting with Angel and Kim and inviting them back into the group of people that they know in the small group so far, Clementine gets her drink from Jeffrey. Jeffrey, if Roland happens to look over at him, gives him a little nod, like there's nothing extra in it.
Virgin Bloody Marys. I get.
Yeah, he just pretended to make a nice drink for her, even though he just went blood. So he hands her a small glass of a dark, thick red liquid. She grabs it and immediately hops off her chair and onto one right next to Cora. And and she actually kind of looks back at Felix and is like, yeah. And then looking back up at Cora, says, so are you into video games?
Yeah, Felix will plop himself to the left of Clementine because I assume Hope's to the right.
Sure, I don't know.
Logistics.
Yeah, she's gonna jerk her head for a second just because she was eavesdropping and that probably hurt.
Just that hi.
Hi.
I do. Are you a fan of video games?
Yeah, I've been playing Meta Mechas recently. And she looks as if like her thing was next to her for a second, and goes, "Oh, I'm just having a really hard time getting past level 20, and and she starts on her tirade a little bit.
She's gonna look between Clementine and Felix and kind of nod her head to him. You a fan of Metamechas too, or?
I'm just a fan. Like,
Literally.
a fan.
So we're at,
I don't know the word.
Table at this point, or I guess.
I like. Oh, he's like a distant fan. I like to watch.
You like to play video games?
I like to watch games.
Oh, you like to watch just games in general?
Yeah, I don't like to play games. Is that?
Yeah, that's a thing. There's a streaming site. This is so meta. Sorry.
Felix is getting confused by
Do you
English
like
language.
Twitch?
I'm surprised it took this many
Do you
years
watch stuff on
to mention
Twitch?
I'm surprised that it took this many years to mention Twitch in game.
Yeah.
If we're being completely honest.
And Felix is getting lost on language because he's just like, English, what are you doing right now?
Felix
Well,
doesn't phones.
I know what a
He doesn't
Twitch
phone.
is. I've had one in my eye before.
I don't know you. So what are your hobbies then?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, I took up, what do you call it? Fortune telling.
You took. Do you do palm reading or tarot cards?
Oh, all that.
What's your gimmick? I mean, not that it's a gimmick. Just,
Speaking to the, deceased.
Oh, could you do me? My grandpa Lester died when I was 7, and I never got to say goodbye.
Do you have an item of his?
I'm his granddaughter. So.
Oh
Are you
no!
going with it?
That was the best Malkavian answer ever. Oh my god.
More direct?
More of a. I mean, he's in North Carolina. I can't run and get it.
So he's in North Carolina.
Well, his corpse is. His soul's in heaven.
I meant a personal effect.
I know I'm a little upset at the fact that genetics should be close enough, and he's just like, no, like, a thing he owned. He's like,
I mean, he personally affected me numerous times.
I could give you like a hair. Does that count? It's got his DNA in it, sorta.
It's like, no, but like the way we do it.
That might be more the direction of how Kim figures that stuff out. I do with.
Oh, is she a geneticist?
I don't know. He works in a hospital. She works in a hospital.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm sure they're about the same. Well, could you read a poem? Sorry.
Angel is just kind of watching this, like.
Kim is so lucky Ike isn't there. He would have thrown her like, yes, top genetics. Right here in the bar, using booze, you can figure out your lineage.
Kim would have been annoyed, but if she knew it was Ike, she would have thought it was funny. Like,
it's legit hard to like look and try and be serious with art while I get like aggressive nods and shakes of heads from Ike. Well, you said you did palm reading. I got palm. I mean, you might not be able to talk to my grandpa, but maybe you can tell me about like, whatever.
Sure thing.
Whatever
A little dark, but let's try it. He'll try. I don't know what kind of role a palm reading is, but I'll go with it. I'm gonna go with perception.
It's a cold reading.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
it'd absolutely be manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, and can I go with persuasion?
Spears in a
Spira.
conversation. You could do whatever you want, bro.
I
She's gonna
guess.
like sit up. She's
Roll.
gonna get very into the show of it,
Straw.
and like she's gonna
Just
rub her
roll it.
hands.
Just roll it.
Yeah, I guess I'm
it's
just
role
roll it.
playing. Yeah, just do it. You don't need.
I'll just improvise. Oh, it's a wonderful
Jesus.
reading.
Tell it.
Fantastic reading.
Shit.
That's
Holy shit.
almost all successes.
Tell the
might-
future. Just make it up.
I'm gonna leave that to you, Felix. Have fun. Actually, okay. So, you got. What did
This
you
is
roll
like
again?
spooky
No.
level.
But what did you roll?
That is 6, 7, 8 successes.
No, I saw that. I said, what did you roll?
Oh, palm reading, which is manipulation plus subterfuge. So he's
Okay.
lying, but the best lie you can make.
Yeah,
Almost
I would think
like,
performance, but because it's showing.
I don't have that.
Oh.
No. Performance is more singing, dancing, doing an artistic form.
Yeah. Palm
Manipulation,
reading is
subterfuge is-
absolutely manipulation.
Oh
subterfuge.
yeah, no. So that's perfectly fine. Again,
Yeah.
as I've always said, if you guys roll higher than you specifically wanted to, like you wanted to read someone but not make them freak out, you can tone it down. But you now have freedom to like do well with this. So what I'm gonna say is,
I'm gonna freak her out. I want to get like almost
Sure.
to the realistically problematic. Like, have you been stalking me my whole life?
Well, like, and she loves the theater of it, so she's already gonna get real into it.
So let's do a tiny touch back and forth where Felix or Articus ask Hope maybe a couple things if you don't already know it about Cora, because
That's what I was
she's new.
about to ask. Yeah.
So feel free to ask her like a detail or two, but then give me the in character.
Let's see. Well, she dropped hints that her grandfather's from North Carolina and that she knew him, and she's going on DNA.
And you were paying
So it means
attention,
that
so
she-
you heard about comics and video games. You got some like interest stuff going on. She's at a club. She's not dressed for like up.
So she probably had a warm but slightly aloof relationship with her grandfather. What do you?
What do I think?
Well, yeah, I'm reading your character that I can't physically see. So
Right now,
I'll
she
know
was-
by her clothes. Probably closer to the age she looks. Maybe could maybe not, but you got a very good success. So like you're thinking maybe that's a shirt she's not wearing ironically or anything. Like maybe she's a closer fan to those things than.
let's see. So based on some observations, he's going to probably determine where she went after she'd been sired, or specifically maybe where she got sired, as long as it met between North Carolina and New York.
He's gonna try and guess where she got sired.
Yes, kind of. Not the state, but the vague, like, well, let's see, you were with your grandfather, and you probably got sired after your grandfather.
Yeah, absolutely. I did get sired after the age of 7. That was very. Oh wow.
Well, I guess offended.
She clearly looks over the age of
So
7.
is Quiz. So is Clementine.
Well, yes, I assume you've been sired at a certain age, but I mean, I don't think that maybe.
You can tell I was a vampire. That's.
Spirit, can I tell that? I'm assuming I can. I can
Her
assume
hands
that
are
she's
cold, I'm
she's
sure you
I mean, her
injured,
hands are
but-
cold.
Her hands are so
Yeah, her
cold.
hands are cold,
I
but
was-
I'm
I
like,
was
She can
like-
have of health.
Hold on, Articus. I was like,
She doesn't.
think of 3 questions to do a palm reading, and then we'll do that, and then you do the bit.
Oh yeah. Ask me 3
Yeah.
questions. I give you 3 answers, and then you fake a story.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's do it that
Also-
way.
I walked over
Smart.
Kim and Angel over to Felix, so we're probably there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again,
I'm
it's
absolutely.
it's a few
What?
people in the bar. There's loud music, but you can all hear each other right now at the bar.
What kind of relationship did you have with your family before? time?
Very close. Very close.
Very close. Could you explain? What's the close? What sticks out?
This is out of character, correct?
Oh no. I'm...
Alright, I meant ask Hope a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah,
things.
ask me
Do
out
a
of
palm
character.
reading.
and-
Ask.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you were very close to your family.
Yeah, very close up until basically she moved away for college and then was sired, and has seen them seldom since then. But like she has seen them, but she was close to them.
What kind of person was the sire versus how her family acts? What was different about them other than being vampires?
Her sire was initially more cold and formal. Her family is very friendly and huggy. But she, like it's taken time, but she's gotten used to sort of his rhythm of living.
And why did she feel any kind of jumping or attraction to the idea of becoming
Becoming a what?
a vampire?
That was not her choice.
Okay, so
Alright, real quick, Articus, I'll give you a second to formulate your palm reading.
absolutely.
At this time, while Felix is kind of looking Cora up and down, doing the spooky hoodoo, reading her palm. Roland, you hear the door from the front of the club open. You see Caleb come in. He comes right up to you and says, "People getting antsy. It's about time. We got we got a good crowd out there right now. You want to let them in now?"
Of course, Caleb. Yes, let the floodgates open.
Clementine looks up to you, taking she's had about half her drink. She's actually in the middle of drinking a little bit more, and just both eyebrows up,
Finish your drink. You have a little bit more time. Don't worry, I'm not going to rush you down.
She pulls his drink back, and instead of a milk mustache, she otherwise licks what's left on her lips and says, "Thanks, Roland." Caleb nods, heads back outside. It's still another minute or two, but now people are in a slow procession, not a, stampede. They're letting in one person at a time, by a second or two, kind of checking, that they should be people here tonight since it's a Kindred-only event. And then so very slowly over the next 10 minutes, there's going to be a progression of people coming in. After about 10 more people come in, while Felix is just finishing his thought, and Clementine's kind of sipping the last of her drink, Ike, you pile into the door, and looking around, because it's still not too crowded.
Ike would have waited to be stopped by the bodyguard. Don't even. Ike would not have walked past Thor without stopping the whole fucking line.
Alright, we'll do that then before we go back inside. But some people are starting to pile in. Ike is maybe 15th in line. He didn't show up right on spot early enough, but he was excited to go see Roland and everybody. And to, give Thor and Caleb a hard time. So he is the next in line. Thor and Caleb look down at you with...
Hold up. Let me tell you what Ike's wearing.
Yes, please tell me what Ike's wearing.
Thank you. So Ike is, obviously short and behind people, so they can't see him at first until everyone starts moving forward. And as everyone starts moving forward, running through the door, they see Ike, a small child, kind of slowly scuffling forward, wearing 1930s paperboy sort of clothing with a wooden bowl in his hands, looking down at the ground, and he's specifically shuffling towards the bouncers.
As soon as they get a solid look at you, there is a half-second, what's this kid doing here look on their faces, till they recognize you.
His head's down. He's looking at the ground.
Okay. Then they go, look, this ain't a spot for beggars. Like, you can go up down the street, hang on the corner there. That shop's closed. People can ask, you can ask people for change there. Kid, you gotta get the fuck out of line.
He starts to push his bowl forward and hold it up to them. But please, sir, may I have some more? And he looks up with a huge fucking grin, just like, ah.
Caleb, as you start that shtick, starts to put a hand out, like, toward your shoulder to, like, physically move you along. And just before he even actually grabs your shoulder, sees your shit-eating grin, both him and Thor, where they're standing, freeze. There's another, like, 3 seconds almost of, like, realization. And then there is the most unhappy mix of emotions of God damn it and trying not to laugh. Thor's a little less amused. He's not the most, jovial sort. But Caleb, it takes him a second. He's trying not to, but he starts to laugh. His hand, which was reaching out to you, he then decides to actually grab your shoulder, basically almost throws you at the door and says, "Fuck off."
Ike, like, laughs just the whole way. Just as he's being thrown through the door, stops, like, plants himself for a second, turns around to hold the bowl out. But, sir, could you please hold my bowl at least? And he drops it and walks inside.
If you don't see it, you hear Caleb kick the bowl aside. He lets out at least a small, more stutter. You hear Thor at least give, like, an unhappy snort. Like, just...
As Ike's walking through the door, he starts pulling off the clothes, and he actually has, like, an oddly, like, strangely well-tailored little suit on. Black on black on black.
So, just before Ike gets to really enjoy the rest of the club, Felix, go ahead and give your palm reading.
While he does it, I'm gonna look over. I'm gonna lean over to Kim and be like, he's a warlock. Can he actually do that?"
I have no idea. I've never watched him do it before.
Do you want my right hand or my
watching
left hand?
Rapt.
I don't know which one's better for.
We always go with the left hand.
Oh well.
It shows classically a symbol of pureness, if that's the right term.
Oh,
Maybe
well,
innocence.
Sure, that makes sense. I am right-handed, so I use this one less. And
Let's see. And he examines the hand and he slowly palms it. He's like, I see. Three things, I'd say. 3 things about. I believe your family loved you very much, and that you terribly missed them.
I do. You can tell that just from the lines on my hand.
Oh, I mean, there's many lines and other things. You miss knowing that you'll outlive them, and that they'll never truly know you again.
Oh. Well, I suppose that's true.
It gets a little darker from here. Are you sure?
The lines are dark?
Yes.
What's it say?
I believe that you stumbled into the kindred world abruptly.
She'll kind of start to take her hand back and the gun stop. Well, that's and she'll kind of where exactly is she positioned? Is she in between them all? Like, she's across from Felix. Are there people behind her?
Felix and Clem are, like, kind of on your sides. Angel and Kim are a little, like, maybe a couple seats further back to, like, to your left and still talking to Roland.
Well, I think I really stumbled into a cam sandwich here.
Like, canned sandwich?
Best kind of sandwich.
Oh, should I stop?
No. I thought it was very nice. Wait, do you have more? Is there more here?
Yeah, yes. You showed a very adept capability of survival, of being able to adapt to your surroundings, to be able to handle what has been thrown to you. But you truly long for real friends and someone again that you can call.
Oh, but that is so sweet of you to say, and I think it is very apt.
Yes. And Felix kind of nods, and he has more, but he kind of.
So do you charge for that? Do you run like a service? What do you do for a living?
Oh, I mean, I charge sometimes. Sometimes I just do it because I see it. But and he fiddles with his tie a little bit. And he goes, "I see something worse. Should I stop?"
What? Oh, well, can you maybe whisper it? I don't. Is it bad?
I think it'd be bad. I can whisper it. Or I can stop.
No, just I'd like to know.
Sure. The lines here say that your embrace was
Oh shit! I didn't know my hands changed because of that. Yeah.
It was abrasive but confusing memories, unheard torments.
Wait, was your embrace not? Did you get it? Did they make you an offer?
Pardon?
You know.
Mine?
Yeah, you're a vampire, right?
I'm
Personal, so Kim starts to wander away.
I'm kindred.
Yeah. So how'd that work out for you?
I did it willingly.
He wants to walk away, but he can't bring himself to.
Kim will kind of look at him and like do one of these.
He's like, yes, but no.
Can I ask what your clan is?
You can't tell. Usually
no.
everyone can tell.
Is bandanas a sign? I've been a vampire a while. I have not met many men with bandanas.
Typically we're referred to as warlocks.
Oh shit! Okay.
So at this point, more and more people are beginning to pile into the club. At this point, Ike, you've both walked in enough. You've gotten to see that the club was essentially empty except for just the few people in front of you. And looking around, you've got enough perception and know these people that you see everybody you know the best in the city kind of in a weird cluster over by the bar.
Ike goes up to the bar a few seats down, but like lining it up so he's definitely visible to them, and kind of makes a sad show of like trying to scramble up onto one of the high bar stools. Maybe purposely slips a couple of times, just trying to see who's going to notice first.
Poor short 13-year-old.
Are you doing that close to us or no?
He's doing it in the line of sight. Like he made sure he squared it up to where he's down here at the bar.
Would it be approximately where Kim and I are heading?
You guys can see him. It's a normal shoehorn bar. Even if you glance sideways a bit at who's coming in, you're gonna fucking see Ike.
Right. No, I'm not Abraham. God damn it, I need you.
Why doesn't he just
Hello?
come over here? Why is he all the way over there?
I will point at Kim as a thing to kind of distract myself from that train wreck.
Train express, not wreck.
2 minutes early.
Hey.
Are you in a play?
No, he's wearing a suit now.
Oh, he is.
No,
Oh,
he
changed.
took his
Changed.
dumb stuff. He took
He
his
just took it off and kind of threw it on the floor.
Yeah, Ike's
Okay,
now
never
wearing
mind.
a very like expensive. Like you could tell, like he probably wouldn't wear this anytime normally. It's one of those like father made that for or had that made for him.
Gotcha.
But it's a very nice high end suit that's black on black on black.
Is
Oh,
it
shit.
matte black or like a
Right.
silk fine black?
Real quick.
Why not
Real quick before we continue with now all of our lovely PCs at the bar having a weird conversation. We're gonna take one more quick break because I need it. Probably just a couple minutes. So again, just chat amongst yourselves. You guys could even in chat talk amongst or in game talk if you want. But I
Yeah,
gotta
we don't
be
need
back.
Spira here to diddle daddle.
No, I only just need to know if anything important happened.
Nothing important happens.
All right, she's gone. Now we can change everything.
Ah, yes.
Okay, I want to be a mummy, so I'm doing a
Me
remote.
too. Hey!
Oh,
We're
is
just
that a
making this
thing?
mummy game. We're just making this a mummy game.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know. As much as I give her shit for not letting us play mummies, I don't know how to play.
I don't think any of us know how to play mummy.
I'm gonna play a mummy that was a Garol in a past life.
Oh, that's
So,
fun. I should do that.
yeah,
I should be.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wait, do
Yeah.
we pick? Wait, that was a what in your past?
So mummies
Those are
mechanically,
Haru.
they
I
can.
don't know.
Hi, Spira.
Oh,
I think
God.
it's like
She's
they
gonna
have
ruin
to.
our
No,
mummy game.
mummies mechanically can have been a different kind of supernatural before they get resurrected.
Yeah, they
So they're
die, but
stupid
then
broken.
you ship them to Egypt, and they do like a ritual, and then they become a.
Oh,
they
is it
have
like
to have
champagne?
so
where it
they can
only
be
come
multiple
from the
kinds of
champagne?
supernatural at the same time, so they're
Yeah.
stupid broken.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to be a kinfolk mage who
Ooh.
turns.
Nice.
Anyway, we go back to the game. I needed a break, but living with some 7 people with 1 bathroom is just fun times. Anyway, yeah, Ike, you've shown back up at the bar, and a couple. What?
Ike.
But Felix wasn't part of your chat right now.
He's back.
Oh, okay. He's back anyway. But the point was, Ike, you were showing up, and a couple people are like, "Oh, good to see you."
Who said that to me?
I said, "Oh wait, what?" Who also says, "Good to see you."
I think maybe Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, Spira said it's good to see you, didn't she?
I was vaguely phrasing like you guys were like, "Oh, it's Ike."
Cool.
That's all.
Yes, I wasn't aware anyone's established contact yet. He's still pathetically trying to get on the chair.
You're
Oh.
looking fancy.
He looks over at you, smiles, and then just like adeptly jumps up onto the chair, straightens his tie. My father made me wear this.
I'm sorry.
How have you been?
Pretty good. You missed my shenanigans earlier. I hope it's on the cameras though. I wonder if they have audio. Anyway, I'll ask Roland later.
What did...
When you say it's on the cameras, I'm gonna
As I
kind of
say,
like glare at you.
I mean, the bowl will show up at some point.
You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to fucking know. I don't want to fucking.
How have you guys been?
Pretty good. Just
Yeah, busy.
busy with work. We got an apartment.
Yeah, you told me about that. Well, I heard about that.
You can
Yes.
you can come by and check it out. I'll look at Kim. You can come by and check
Yeah.
it out. It's not a bad. I can assure you, I will not stab you.
Did you keep the couch at
I
least?
promise it won't happen.
No.
Aw, what happened to that couch? That's sentimental now.
No.
Well, I mean, if you find it, I'll take it. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's in a dump somewhere.
Oh, well, that's sad. He'll look over to the group and like nod his head. Newcomer?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Clementine
she's
loudly
comrade.
bursts over Angel and says, "Yeah, this is Cora. She likes video games and comic books. We've been having a good time together." And she downs the last of her drink.
Is Clementine sitting at the bar, or did she walk over?
Clementine
Is
is sitting at
Clementine-
the bar right next to Cora.
I like to think that Clementine is drinking the equivalent of like blood orange juice.
Yeah, like a
Like-
juicy juice.
Blood juice, yeah.
Oh,
Ike is sitting like fairly further down the bar. He wouldn't be
So-
close to Cora.
So Clementine is drinking just plain blood, but it's gonna be again when the kid is sitting next to the parents that she knows are drinking wine and feel like extra cool.
Ike is sitting like quite a few seats down the bar, though. He wouldn't be next to Cora.
And Felix is trying to awkwardly, not awkwardly, just kind of like, okay, I'll do me.
So does Clementine like hop over towards us?
She yells across the bar to Ike.
She could hear me from halfway down the bar.
Well, with aspects on.
Yes, she has aspects. I taught her.
Oh, does she?
No, of course not. But I'm just trying to move the story along.
No, I'm legit. It's just the logistics of it. That's all. Ike
No,
is
yeah,
like
because-
10 seats down.
Clem
Yeah.
is only a few seats down. It's still not that busy, and she's super hyperactive aware as a kid would be at a party.
Cora makes a face as she's just shouted over like across and introduced them by like a kid.
Ike will just smile and look down. And just then look over at Clementine. Hi, Clementine.
She waves excitedly at Ike.
I see you're getting up to no good as always.
Roland said I could come into the club tonight.
Now you behave. I don't think everyone around here can handle you.
I'll be good, especially if he lets me stay a little longer.
Please, he barely lets me stay in here.
Roland will make a face since he knows he's being cornered into.
That dad face.
Felix is just like,
Cora is also a little.
I kind of waits for the bartender, and if no one else says anything quite yet, just kind of watching the other three, seeing what they're.
Cora's gonna wave the bartender over.
I was gonna say, who has a drink and who doesn't? Is it just me and okay?
Felix does.
yeah,
You got
I-
him one.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have one. I would get Jeffrey's attention. Order one for everyone who doesn't.
oh, thank you.
Oh, well,
Yeah, of
thanks.
course. Yes. No, thank you for coming. If there's anything you need, you've been a pleasure. But Clementine and I need to go have a dance. Isn't that right?
Oh yeah! And like just as you say that, the DJ switches the track from the lower bass rock song that was for the early attendants, just something, you know, simple, into a much more dancey techno club dance. And Cora, you're gonna feel that in your soul.
I'm gonna what?
You're
The
gonna
beat,
feel
it's
that.
in your bones.
Oh, the drink?
The
The
dance
song.
music.
Oh, the music,
Techno.
just the beat of it.
You're gonna feel it in your bones.
Yeah, she'll drink her drink fairly quickly so she can kind of go and dance.
So, with the attendance piling in, the club becoming much more of dozens of people seeking drinks and dances, if not, you know, a little bit of necking here and there. Club is getting pretty lit. And from there, so yeah, no, the club is really starting to actually become the grand opening instead of this soft open that Roland was looking for Clementine and some of his friends, hopefully to show up earlier. It's starting to go a little wild. And from there, let me know how everyone's feeling currently. You all had a good moment for a second to actually like get to talk, but now it's turning into a bit of dance party.
I mean, I know Angel is torn between being annoyed and freaked out by Clementine and annoyed at himself that he thinks that Roland dancing with Clem is...
If
Well-
Ike catches note of that, he'll just elbow you in the side. Like, lightly, just like, ah. Reminding you there's another one.
You're less bad.
Is that true, though?
But more bad. You're less bad and more
Less
bad.
bad and also more bad. But, like, for the first time, Angel's like, alright, she's kind of cute.
But as people are coming in, Spira, he would be like, all right, we had our dance. You had your drink. It's time. It's time to go back down. They would lead her down.
Alright, pause on that. Before Roland specifically leaves. So Angel and Kim, you just gonna hang by the bar, continue chatting?
Kim would not dance unless someone asked her to, and she doesn't like touching people, so it's unlikely.
This isn't waltzing music. This is...
Ike sees you two, like, looking like, sure, is this what we're supposed to do? And he goes, I only dance to music that you can dance with at least 8 on.
You know what? Fuck you.
You
Fuck
can go
you.
dance if you want to. I just don't like
You can leave your friends
being
behind.
so close in a crowd.
Yeah,
But your
Cora
friends
would
don't
maybe
dance. And if they don't dance, then...
They're no friends of mine.
Really, Angel, really.
Felix
Only ever.
will actually come up because he felt awkward for the whole palm reading situation. He's like, oh, maybe I went too. And,
Hey, Felix.
Hey, how do you dance to this?
Well,
see
Like that, I
you doing-
suppose.
It's
She's us
on-
pointing to the people on the dance floor.
I don't think they're doing it very well.
Can you make
I
glow
don't think
sticks?
it matters.
Can I make
Hey,
glow
hey,
sticks?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What's the role for dancing? Out of it's dexterity.
Dexterity performance.
Oh my god, Angel's an amazing dancer.
Oh
Oh my god.
Felix is not.
Hey, neither is Kim.
I'm uncomfortable by how good Angel is at dancing.
I love it.
Cora will try to approach the 4 non-dancers.
Oh,
Angel's
hello.
probably bobbing his head at this point, like,
Hey y'all, I just, I don't know. I know that we don't know each other very well, but we are in a club. Y'all want to dance?
Oh, it's all right. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you not a?
you okay?
You're not a fan,
I don't.
or
I don't.
you
I don't.
alright?
I just don't like being close in a crowd. That's all. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I'm sorry, hun. You need some air, or you just?
Oh, no, I'm
Are you
fine. It's
okay?
just being close and on the dance.
Oh, on a dance floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Then yeah, absolutely. This is where you're most comfortable. What about y'all?
You can go. You don't have to be. You don't have to be anchored to me.
No,
Ike smiles and reaches a hand out. If you don't mind my stature.
Yeah. No. She'll squat like a tiny bit and hold her.
He will look super incredulous.
Ouch.
But
Oh, then
go
she will
along with it
immediately
anyway.
stand up.
I'll
And pretend
follow
you-
along just because I want to roll the dice.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll
Alright,
the dice.
who's dancing? Alright, everybody roll who's dancing.
Wait, are Clementine and I still dancing? Or am I about to leave her?
You're like, letting her dance while slowly leading her to the back door.
My first roll is not a botch, but it is a failure.
Okay.
So I will be doing the sprinkler, and
Maybe you
Some
found
dumb
little,
disco
like,
moves.
these are kindred you're not used to being around. It's a new city. You're like, just a little like, it's a new club. Little
How
anxiety.
often have you seen kid vampires either? Like,
Right? I don't know. She doesn't know if she should, like... Oh my god. Fuck you, Angel.
Failed too.
That's 9 successes.
Hope, I will let you do one more at a plus difficulty if you want. Like, maybe you trip a little and...
I will absolutely take it because
Yeah.
she literally dances as a hobby.
I know. So you got nervous and tripped, and then you're like, fuck it, I gotta show these motherfuckers up now.
A little better, 2 successes.
Alright, you got your rhythm back, and you're showing off a little bit.
Ike also failed. He blames Cora for fucking up. You threw
That's fair.
me off my groove.
Yeah, she will take all of the blame from her. God damn it, I'm jealous, Zibon. From her cool dance moves, she'll take that blame.
So Angel, Kim, Ike,
Not
and
Kim.
Cora
Not
are
Kim.
dancing.
Not Kim.
Kim is not dancing.
Oh, she's staying by the bar?
Kim does not want to accidentally touch people by
Sure.
being too close to them.
Felix, what are you up to?
I can to meet up with Kim.
Oh no, he was gonna hang with Kim because Kim doesn't like crowds. Felix
Sure.
doesn't like crowds. He also doesn't like dancing.
It's not the crowds, it's the greater probability for being touched.
Yeah.
Whatever Kim wants to say.
But also, Ike, what did you say you were gonna do?
He would not do well on the dancing part. Just give up real quick and go back to hanging with Kim.
Alright.
And whoever else is at the bar.
okay.
He's like, I need another drink.
Before we continue to that, so Roland, the club is starting to take off, and you realize at this point you do want to get Clem back downstairs. So, but like still giving her a little treat, you like half dance with like keep her arms like her like hands in yours and dance her through the dance floor, but you're basically leading her to the back door. Just as you get to the back door, it opens, and there is a person, a decent bit shorter than you, in a hood full up, covering them up entirely, that walks through the door.
I have shit awareness, but I feel like I know who it is. But do I need to roll to know who it is? Do I know this fucking hoodie that covers up someone all the time?
You
Who's
do.
Is it a familiar hoodie? Yeah.
You know the hoodie. That's this old ratty black hoodie. You know who it is.
Okay, so I know I don't need to roll because I
Nah.
only have 1 perception.
Nah, you
Zero
know who
awareness.
it is. It's an old ratty hoodie, you know.
Oh, you're here.
The head looks up a bit, but still trying to keep, from letting their face be shown, like, yeah, you've been bugging me all fucking day.
Yeah, well, you said that you would be back. What, yesterday, the day before? There's no communication? What is...
I've been fucking busy. What do you want? I showed up for your opening, and you see that really uncomfortable body language, and just, I can't even fucking show my face. I don't know how to do what Benedict does.
Is that what this is about? The fact that you feel fucking uncomfortable about showing your face? Is that...
Look, I don't know if there's any fucking humans here.
There isn't. You're fine. Maybe if you just would have sent a text or if you would have called, you would have known that. But instead, you, went hiding? Where have you even...
Sunshine sighs and pulls back her hood, looking around and just, kind of taking in the look of the people around her. She sighs again, even more relaxed. Alright, look, I heard you were starting the club up again. I didn't know if you were gonna have humans or ghouls or whatever. I wanted to be safe. And anyway, about the fucking texting, look, we've had a lot of shit going on elsewhere. I showed up, didn't I? Why are you giving me so much shit? Clementine, who's by your arm, is starting to look a little uncomfortable.
Do you mind coming downstairs with me? I need to tuck Clem in for us.
Yeah, of course. I was trying to meet you up here, but yeah, that's fine.
So you, Sunshine, and Clementine, in a very short but awkward elevator ride down, go to your
Completely
basement
silent.
apartment.
I want that to be stated. The whole ride down is just like awkward fucking silence. The whole.
No, Clem pulls at her old hoodie and goes, I got to level 20.
Besides maybe Clem, and then
Oh no,
just kind
she
of
would
like that.
totally kind of be like, I'm almost at 20. And Sunshine would smile really brightly at her. And
That's really good. I heard that one's really hard.
When we get down, I mean, it's still early. Like Clem wouldn't go to bed, but she would need to go.
No, it's like 11 at the latest. Like you were gonna open the club at 10 to like let people in, and
Right.
it's not even that far past that.
When we got in, he would like grab the iPod and like kind of kneel down towards Clem and hand it to her and be like, do you think you could see if you could beat level 20 in your room for me?
Clem's pretty smart. She looks between the two of you, but then nods as,
Yeah, I'll see if I can beat it this time.
and she wanders off to the office.
Roland would then like kind of stand up and slowly turn towards. You don't seem to be around here very much anymore.
Sunshine breathes in deeply, which is not something kids should need to do, and sighs. It's more of an obvious, forced need of an old physical tradition for someone who grew up a human, and says,
Look. Alright, so Ben and I fucking told you a long time ago. We moved to Atlantic City because that was a better place than Philadelphia, and Ben doesn't really like New York. I promised, like, look, that's my group. I offered to help you out with this shit. I helped you out with those fucking set tights. I don't really fucking owe you anything.
she, I'll note, doesn't look at you directly when she says any of this.
You're right, O'Connell. You don't know me anything. I'm sorry. The way I maybe I was a little bit too strong. You helped me. Thank you. I don't know what to say.
And she puts like both her palms like right into her eyes. Just
I didn't fucking mean it like that. I just meant, Roland, the whole...
and she like continues dancing, like stuttering for a little while, and then just angrily says,
This fucking blood bonding shit. I did it because I wanted to keep you out of the fucking set tight control, but this isn't something that should have happened.
Roland will go and walk to his closet and pull out a dress that he got her, which would be like almost like an exact match of what kind of Clem has, but like more for.
oh, as a note, you've got like your heart doesn't beat anymore, but you got the similar kind of thumping seeing her again from your beast.
I got you something for tonight. And he'll kind of hand it to her.
She looks at the dress and give me a perception empathy roll at 4. I need the roll, but it's not going to be hard.
Four successes.
Okay. She looks a little disdain at the dress, and says even, you know I'm like a fucking tomboy or whatever people call, you don't fucking wear dresses, but you do totally feel a little bit of like a, like, kind of a, oh, kind of reaction, like just from a little bit of her shoulder, just she looks away and looks upset that she shouldn't like it.
I know, and
And
tonight
also she
is-
like kind of looks up and down at herself a little.
it's it. You put on the dress and just enjoy tonight, and then we're I don't know, done. Whatever you want to call it, it's over. The whole blood bonding thing, it's gone. I'll figure.
Jesus Christ, you're young and stupid. Benedict ain't wrong about that. It's not done with that, It's not done like that, stupid.
Well, I don't know. And last I checked, it wasn't going to be done. And then you start pulling these shenanigans of just disappearing. And I'm trying to handle this in a very appropriate manner, and you are making it very hard. So if you have...
The Sunshine walks up angrily, snatches the dress out of your arms, holding it like kind of gripped in her fingers, and says,
This isn't something that's over quickly. Like, I basically have to be out of your life for a fucking long time if you want it to ever end.
I don't want it to. I'm not the one... It's you.
It's not that. It's just... You're like officially bound to me now, and there's no reason for it other than I fucking tried to just save you from that asshole.
Look, fine! And she, like, runs off to one of the rooms, and, you know, a few minutes later she comes out, walks up to you, and says,
We'll do this, but then I need to leave for a while. A really fucking long while.
Okay.
This is it.
But... I
Get that right.
Yes, I understand. I get it.
This is for
This is
Clementine.
even though she knows she's in a different room.
This is the last we speak of it tonight. You go away. I deal with the repercussions of it, and that is it. All right? I'll manage. Me and Clem will manage. It'll be fine. When it passes, or whatever it is that has to happen, then you can come back and you can see Clem, or we can figure that out. But until then, yes. But we need to, if you could just stop talking about it for the rest of the night. And
That's what I want.
Roland will walk up and kind of stick his arm out.
She has tight shoulders, but then kind of takes your arm and walks like a mannequin in a dress. Back out to the elevator, back into the club, and otherwise, oddly enough, and it's something you've started to notice, when she's in a place with like loud thumping music, she does actually tend to calm down. So the second you get back into the club and the music's really loud and kind of takes over everything, she seems to relax and even seems a little happier, and she gives you at least a half smile, even if there's like a kind of slight bitterness to it, but lets you lead her out to the dance floor.
You
Now.
look good. Oh, go for it.
Oh, no. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You would just say like a nicety of just like, you look good.
She gives you what almost reminds you even more of Benedict, kind of loud snort. Just. Let me get that noise going again. Where'd it go? I have too many tracks. So, Roland, you wander back out onto the dance floor with Sunshine in tow. She's hella awkward, but at least the noise and the darkness of the club and the people moving, what you'd heard from her about how, like, even when she was human, that was kind of the thing she actually liked, because it let her escape from the things she hated about life. She just does kind of lose herself in it. And the two of you do have a nice night of dancing around. She tries to just forget everything. You lead her in that as well. Let me get the reminder. It's Angel, Ike, and Cora are dancing. Felix and Kim are at the bar.
Yep.
Ike too.
Yep.
Oh wait, Ike's at the bar?
Yeah, he wanted.
Yeah, he failed at dancing and gave up real quick.
Okay. So Cora and Angel are dancing. So
Break
1
dancing.
second.
Your fucking 9 successes for dancing. Jesus.
No, I have because of that role, I have this, or because of this stat, I have decided that back in the the 70s and 80s, he did some breakdancing.
Cora is so impressed.
Look, you didn't get 8 dice to freak out Cora's path. Just effective.
I got 11 dice to breakdance.
I mean, that's just better breakdancing than freaking out Cora on a pre.
This music always reminds me of the dance club in Mass Effect.
A little bit.
Oh, I need to play that actually.
I can talk with Felix a little bit.
No, real quick.
Unless you
All right.
have
So we've got Felix, Kim, and Ike at the bar. Cora and Angel are still dancing. So, you 5 slightly separate, but you're still in the club. It's quite dark. Basically, the only lighting is in the back of the bar on the first floor, and a little bit of lighting on each of the individual tables, a little bit along the walls. There's some floor lighting around the actual dance floor, and a little bit by the DJ's booth. Just enough to keep the place lit enough to see everybody, but not heavily lit. As the dance tracks, the techno and everything continues along, and everything like that, the DJ up at the front booth apparently had some control of some nice lighting and starts doing some of that flash lighting that while people are dancing, it's just it's that jittered, kind of seeing people every 6 frames kind of thing. So people are dancing, and instead of it regularly, you just see all these mixed things. The people at the bar, of course, still chatting with each other. Cora Cora and Angel, are you dancing anywhere near each other, or like just in the group?
Please try to flirt with Angel. I want to see what happens.
I wasn't asking. I'm only asking what you're doing.
She would be dancing near him because she always dances in groups. Not because
it's not a big dance floor. It's not a huge dance floor either. So like you might even just pass by each other a lot. And it's the first kindred you talk to in Manhattan in a long while, like that you're also now dancing with.
Yeah, I mean, like she invited him to go out and dance, so she wouldn't abandon him. So she would be near.
And not to mention, we could talk because the reason you can't talk when you dance is because you have to get your blood pumping. Because it's so like we could have a normal conversation while dancing like fiends.
Oh wait, you both have aspects too, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite is like they're dancing like hardcore dancing.
Like,
yes, it's all
really?
apples at the market. They were 50 cents off today. Apparently they're going out of season.
Yes.
Alright, so Cora,
That's exactly it.
So Cora, you're dancing around a bunch of strangers at first, just really enjoying yourself. You're showing up your hip-hop moves with this rave music. You wind up kind of next to Angel, who you just talked to a little earlier. And maybe you want to say a word or two?
Yeah, I only feel like it's appropriate to yell right now over the music.
But we don't have to.
I can't bring
Do
myself
quiet yelling. Hey!
Hey! So you dance really well.
It's been a long time. I did it before I got embraced. It's actually kind of refreshing. It's been.
Wait, you haven't danced since before you were embraced?
This was like before I started working, like, you know, when I was like a teenager. So like it was a while before I got embraced.
So this is the first time in how long since you have hidden these moves from the world?
Maybe like 10 years.
This is wow. That's insane that you're this good still.
Yeah.
This is like a second coming of Dance Jesus, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I thank you.
So then, what do you do in the meantime?
Cars. I fix. I run a body shop, and I'll kind of vaguely describe where.
Why, like your hands are describing? Oh no,
No. I'll say. Oh, it's down on the corner of 7th. Wonderwall.
I don't know. That sounds kind of familiar. I don't usually need auto shop work. Maybe I'm not taking enough care of my car to notice.
No, I don't like do engine work. I do like custom jobs and shit. It's kind of my jam, like my deal.
That's your jam.
Tori.
Oh, you're a Tori for cars? That is, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Has anybody told you that's cool?
I mean, you know, my Saya thought it was cool, so
Okay, now as you two are dancing and chatting, Cora and Kim, give me perception awareness at 5 difficulty. And Ike and Felix, if you want to, you don't have to, but you can do the same at 10.
For what?
Awareness?
Perception awareness.
Sure, why not? Yeah,
At
I've been
10.
lucky at 10.
Huh?
What's my...
3 successes.
Cora and whom?
Me. Because we're
Cora-
Malkavians.
Cora and
Oh,
Kim.
Cause you're bonkers.
Perception.
Hey, thanks.
5.
0.
Yeah, that's our word.
I don't think either of you would say bonkers.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Is this a botchable roll?
No, it's gonna be pass or fail.
not pass.
All right, Ike didn't pass. Felix, what'd you get?
0. No pass.
All right, Cora and Kim.
I got 3 successes.
Kim, what'd you get?
3.
Cora, you're dancing in the midst of a giant crowd. Kim, you're still sitting at a bar. Both of you feel this uncomfortable, kind of like someone tickling their fingers up your spine feeling, and a reason to look in a certain direction. And you both, not that you know each other are doing this, but you both look in a specific direction out on the dance floor, and as the lights are flickering in this dance club kind of strobe where you only see people for a few seconds, it's hard to see, but your minds kind of drive you to look in a certain direction, and you both see a woman that's kind of short. She has very thick, long, wavy hair, and she's dressed in like a lot of like dark leather. She's just kind of dancing amongst the crowd. Cora, you're like kind of driven to look at this person. Kim, it's a little hard to see with all the people dancing around her, but you kind of at least recognize the clothes and the hair.
Okay. If the feeling is sufficiently discomforting, she will kind of slow down in terms of dancing, maybe just briefly touch Angel's shoulder. I'm gonna grab some air real fast, and then kind of head over to the bar and pull out her notebook and maybe stock up on just quick notes.
I wanted to talk to Felix a little bit, but that's okay. Kim's grip kind of tightens on her glass, and it's really easy to tell she's staring right at this woman. She kind of like under her breath like to Felix and Ike's like, I think Lily.
I think you cut off a little bit. Just
Did I? Okay. I think Lily's here.
I think Felix only interacted with like rumors of Lily. I don't think he's ever seen her.
I don't think he has either.
Does Ike hear you say that?
Yeah, she said it specifically to Ike.
Okay. Ike's eyes literally go wide, and he's like, "Where's she? Where's she at?"
She's dancing over there. I think so. I'm pretty sure that's her.
Ike looks immediately crestfallen.
What?
Which one was Lily?
She's
the cool girl, you know, she wears the bandana around her eyes. She's really pretty.
She's an elder of my clan, and she keeps showing up to educate me. I'm not sure of her intention.
Yeah, she's really badass. Come on, Felix.
Felix looks for a quote-unquote pretty bandana-eyed woman.
Ike's also searching the crowd for her after Kim points it out.
I'll give you guys perception alertness at 7 because you missed it earlier, and again it's busy and dancy and you're trying to spot someone.
Still, Ike is fucking. Where'd them elder dice
Oh, 2.
Felix, you still don't know who or what she looks like, so unless you ask more questions, I could give you something, but you need to ask what she's supposed to look like.
She has black.
Pretty and a hair and a band around her eyes.
She has thick black hair. She's wearing black clothes.
That.
Ike is literally on his tiptoes, looking over the crowd, jumping a little bit.
So Felix, you kind of catch sight of someone who's like wearing more like black leather, and you do see no one with a bandana. So I'll give you that for your successes. You see no one with a bandana, but you do see a girl in the club wearing dark black clothes with dark black hair, and she's wearing sunglasses.
Is she in sunglasses? It's dark. There's a.
I'll say, Kim, since you're talking to him, you look back and it's hard to catch her because there's so many people, but you think you catch the same person. Again, it's very hard with the flickering lights and as many people, but you catch that jacket you thought you saw, and you think you see sunglasses.
I think she's wearing sunglasses instead. She doesn't have the bandana this time.
Oh, then I see her. Who is she? Other than a quote-unquote pretty?
I told you, she's an elder of my clan who keeps trying to educate me or something. I don't know.
Ike rolls his eyes at you. You keep saying that like it's a bad thing, Kim. Your elders are supposed to educate you. That's why we have sires and elders.
No, it's not that I'm not grateful.
Wait.
Just uncertain of her overall intentions. It would be easier to trust if I knew what she wanted.
What? Why did you raise such concern? What has she done? What's going?
She's fairly strong. She's. It's something like. Something akin to dominate, but different with me before.
She's trying to control you?
No, I don't think so. I think she's trying to open my senses to things my clan should sense, but I don't know what her intentions are.
Would you be more comfortable going upstairs to talk about this?
No, she'll follow me if she wants to. She just kind of shows up wherever I am often, so.
Are you more comfortable being in a crowd full of people or being upstairs with no one to witness?
I don't know. More witnesses may be safer, but also it might not make any difference. I can't tell.
Ike turns around to the bar, like clearly frustrated that he can't see her in the crowd, and like waves down the bartender, then looks over at Kim. It's not like she's trying to hurt you. Or at least not that easily. I don't think you need witnesses.
Do you know her? Ike? What do you know of her?
I mean, I know her. I don't think she knows I exist, though.
Huh?
Ike looks at you and he just goes, I know her. I don't think she knows I exist, though. What cares? Probably both.
I meant, what has she done to alert Kim in your mind?
I mean, she led us through some werewolf territory, but didn't let the werewolves hurt us.
All right, that's a new one.
So at this point, Felix has been made aware of Lily. Kim has seen her again for the umpteenth time. Cora has noticed someone in the club that is very interesting and pulled at senses she may not have even been fully aware of before. Ike has been told Lily's around. Angel will more than likely hear about it sooner than later, being very close with Kim. And Roland is, opening his club again and trying to settle things with his lovely semi-kindred spouse thing. But yeah, we are going to have to end it here. We will pick up and continue the fun nightclub shenanigans and see what happens with this stranger, parentheses, question mark, parentheses, except as everybody figured out it's Lily. We'll see what happens next week and coming up soon on the new revived series of New York by Night, New York Returned, whatever you want to call it. We'll figure it out. As always, check down below for our links to our Discord. Totally join us there, hang out with us. We would love to talk with you about role-playing games and everything else under the sun. Our link below also has YouTube and everything else. And yeah, we'll also see you for D&D Fridays coming up soon. So yeah, thank you to everybody who comes out and watches us live. Thank you to everybody who watches our games on YouTube. Love you all so much. We're really excited to get back to New York and have our fun new Malkavian Cora. Yay! So you'll see more of her soon and get to know more about her and get to know our old players some more as we continue our game. So yeah, I think that's about it. Everybody want to say goodbye? Till the next time I drop something crazy 15 minutes before the end of the game. Have a good time. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.